Chapter 680. Deputy Bureau Chief Song, is anything the matter? Ling Tian asked. No. Song Billion shook his head. He felt strange. Did the two of them really reconcile? How was that possible? Alright, what about you, Deputy Bureau Chief Zhang? Ling Tian asked. Me neither. Deputy Bureau Chief Zhang shook his head. He was the weakest among them. Every time, he was the messenger. Naturally, he wouldn't have too many requests or suggestions. After the new year, Deputy Bureau Chief Yang, go back to the Northeast Branch. Rest for a few days, Ling Tian said to Xiao Chen. Do what you need to do here. All right. Xiao Chen was overjoyed. This way, he could go back to Songning for the new year. He thought he would have to stay in the Supernatural Investigation Bureau because of this incident. After the meeting, Xia Shibin heaved a sigh of relief. He thanked Xiao Chen and Xia Zhili profusely. He felt much more comfortable now. Yang Jiannan was overbearing and hard to please. On the other hand, Xiao Chen didn't have much to say. In Xia Zhili's office, the three of them sat across from each other. Xiao Chen, you can go home for the new year first. Then, you can take care of Su Chuxia's matters. Xia Shibin and Song Huawu are in charge of the Northeast Branch. You don't have to be there often. I'll cover for you, Xia Zhili said. Thank you, Deputy Bureau Chief Xia, Xiao Chen quickly said. Xia Zhili was very satisfied with Xiao Chen's attitude. Although they were on equal footing, Xiao Chen still considered himself a junior. He didn't show any disrespect. No need to thank me. This is what you deserve. Yang Jiannan is so rebellious. He really pisses me off. Xiao Chen, you and I will be partners in the future. You weren't my subordinate before, so you don't have to be so polite. After knowing Xiao Chen's identity, Xiao Chen was still so respectful towards him. Xia Zhili was indescribably happy, but it was also because Xiao Chen was not the Yang Jiannan that he had brought up. Speaking of which, Xiao Chen had helped him, so he really did not take care of Xiao Chen. Therefore, Xia Zhili was not stupid. He knew that Xiao Chen was not an ordinary person. If the two of them were to cooperate for a long time, he could not be too overbearing. In any case, Deputy Bureau Chief Xia has helped me solve a big problem. Once there is a demolition in the future, I will not hesitate. Xiao Chen said seriously. Let's not talk about this anymore. That Outer Star Inc. meteorite helped me break through to Marshal General, but there's still a small piece left. When you break through, you can take it and use it. Xia Zhili said, speaking of which, it's all thanks to this treasure that I was able to avert danger and kill Yang Jiannan. Without this treasure, I wouldn't have been able to successfully advance, and I would have died here today. Next, I plan to study the 5 Poisons secret manual that you helped me get back. Forget about that book, there are some problems with it. Now that Xiao Chen had a good relationship with Xia Zhili, it was naturally impossible for him to harm him. I have also studied that 5 Poisons secret manual. Before cultivating, I need to take a special pill. Now that I have the secret manual but not the pill, it's easy to cause problems. Oh? There's such a thing? Xia Zhili was slightly stunned, but he still nodded and said, previously, I have been breaking through to Marshal General for many years without success, so I wanted to improve my martial skills and study the use of poisons. Now that I am a Marshal General, there is no need to study these things. You are right, then forget it. Right, how is Huawu now? Xiao Chen had been thinking about Song Huawu before, but because of Yang Jiannan's matter, he could not visit her. She has been discharged from the hospital and is resting in the dormitory. Let Xia Shibin take you to see her. Xia Zhili said. Okay, then let's go over now. When Xiao Chen heard that Song Huawu was nearby, he could not wait. After bidding farewell to Xia Zhili, the two of them went out together, got into the car, and went to the villa where Song Huawu was. Xiaofan pressed the doorbell, and after a while, the door of the villa was opened. Song Huawu did not ask who it was. After all, those who could enter the dormitory area were people from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. However, when she saw that the people outside the door were Yang Jiannan and Xiaofan, her face suddenly turned cold. "What are you guys doing here? Let's talk inside." Xiaofan lowered his voice. Although there was no one nearby, it was better to keep a low profile in case the walls had ears. Song Huawu frowned. "Are you guys trying to assassinate me in my house? How could that be?" Xiaofan was stunned, then smiled bitterly. "Huawu, don't you trust me?" Song Huawu did not answer, but looked at Xiao Chen, meaning that she did not trust him. "Huawu, let's talk inside," Xiao Chen also said in a low voice. "N?" When Song Huawu heard Yang Jiannan's voice, she was slightly stunned. She nodded and moved aside to let them in. Xiao Chen closed the door and said, "Huawu, it's me. Are you trying to lie to me?" Song Huawu asked coldly. "Lie to you?" Xiao Chen was stunned, but he immediately understood what Song Huawu meant. He said, "It's true. Yang Jiannan is really dead this time, and I'm back." Song Huawu did not believe it. She looked at Xiao Chen warily. "How can you prove it? How do you want to prove it?" Xiao Chen was a little speechless. "Then change back to Xiao Chen and let me see." Song Huawu stared at Xiao Chen. Xiao Chen was wearing a human skin mask. If he wanted to change back, he would have to take it off. If that happened, it would be difficult to explain. He simply transformed back to his original appearance and said, "Is it okay now? You're really Xiao Chen." When Song Huawu saw Yang Jiannan turn into Xiao Chen without warning, she was a little more certain, but she still had some doubts. "Ahem. A few days ago, in the hospital, I went back to treat your injuries, and then you woke up." Because Xiaofan was at the side, Xiao Chen could not explain some details too clearly. "Oh." Song Huawu's face turned red. This time, she completely believed Xiao Chen. "It's really you. That's great. What happened?" "Actually, this is what happened." Xiao Chen told the story from the time Su Chuxia and Tian Wangshou came to find him to the time Xia Zhui killed Yang Jiannan. "What? Yang Jiannan was killed by Deputy Director Xia?" Song Huawu was really shocked after hearing this. She did not expect so many things to happen while she was recuperating at home. Yang Jiannan and Xia Zhui had already broken up, and the conflict had reached this stage. "Yes, that's why I came back to take over. Currently, only Deputy Director Xiaofan, and you know about this." "Don't tell Song Bilian," Xiao Chen reminded her. "I won't tell him." Song Huawu shook her head. "Are you alright?" Xiao Chen asked, "Your injury should have healed, why are you still recuperating at home? Is there a problem?" "There isn't." Song Huawu suddenly smiled. "I didn't want to see Yang Jiannan's face, so I recuperated at home. No one else knows the inside story, so naturally, they won't suspect anything." "Oh right, when are you going to Lan City?" "Why, are you going with me?" Xiao Chen looked at Song Huawu. "I'm the team leader of Team C, so naturally, I have to go back and take up my post. Team C's office is in the Northeast Branch, which is between Lan City and Songning, so it's on the way," Song Huawu said. "That's fine, but I'll go back to Songning for the new year first." Xiao Chen said, "You and Xiaofan can go back to the branch first." "Okay." Song Huawu nodded. "Then I'll go to the headquarters in a while and cancel my sick leave." The real Yang Jiannan was dead, so Song Huawu didn't have to worry about seeing him. After making the decision, Song Huawu and Xiaofan went to the Northeast Branch first. Meanwhile, Xiao Chen took a plane back to Songning. He did not intend to fly back using his primordial chi if there was nothing important. Hey! Brother, where did you go today? I didn't see you during the day. Xiao saw Xiao Chen and asked curiously. It was really strange that Xiao Chen disappeared for a whole day during the new year. Oh, nothing. I felt that I seemed to have signs of a breakthrough, so I practiced for a day. Xiao Chen smiled and dodged the question. By the way, I heard that you're back. Yu Xiaochuan and Tang Tang came to pay a New Year's visit today, but they didn't see you. They were a little regretful. They left the gifts and asked me to tell them that when you're home, they'll come again, Xiao said. Xiao Chen nodded and asked, who else came? The Xia family, the Jin family, the Lu family, and the Zhu family all came. Xiao said, our Xiao family hasn't been as lively as it is now for many years. It used to be deserted, but now it's crowded. Brother, since the Cheng family was defeated that day, the structure of our Songning has also changed. Well, I see. Xiao Chen wasn't happy. Instead, he was a little worried. According to the character of Cheng Zhongfan of the Cheng family, he wouldn't give up so easily. This guy wouldn't give up until he achieved his goal. Maybe he would find some powerful people to take revenge on him after he went back. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen was very eager to improve his strength. Before, the enemies he faced were all ordinary families. At most, they were at the level of the real martial arts family. There were no powerful masters. Therefore, when Xiao Chen was at the peak of the first level of the Foundation establishment realm, he could look down on all the heroes. But now his opponents were from the martial arts sects, so his strength was a little insufficient. It seemed that strength really determined the level. The higher one's strength was, the different level he would face. Brother, why are you unhappy? Xiao saw that Xiao Chen was a little absent-minded. How could it be? Xiao Chen smiled and said, it's impolite not to reciprocate. I'm also going to buy something and visit these friends of Songning. Brother, should I go with you? Xiao asked. You stay at home. Maybe someone will come. There must be a junior at home. Xiao Chen said. Oh. Xiao was a little unhappy. You're going to find Sister Tang Tang. Are you afraid that I'll be the third wheel? Chapter 681. How is that possible? Xiao Chen coughed twice. Forget it. You go. Xiao smiled and said, I'm not an unreasonable person. Xiao Chen didn't want Xiao to go with him because he had other plans. He planned to go to the Cheng family first. Although he was hostile to the Cheng family, his relationship with Miss Cheng was subtle. Xiao Chen also wanted to find out the attitude of the Cheng family and make preparations as soon as possible. Especially Cheng Tianxiu's attitude toward him. Previously at the family banquet, he said that he would betroth Cheng Menjing to him, Xiao Chen. Now, he wanted to see if he would acknowledge it. This also directly determined Xiao Chen's overall attitude toward the Cheng family in the future. Out of courtesy, Xiao Chen bought some gifts and drove to the Cheng family's mansion. There were also many people who came to the Cheng family to pay New Year's greetings. After all, the Cheng family was the first in Songning. Many people in Songning relied on the Cheng family to make a living. Now, the cars queuing at the door had already lined up outside the mansion. However, Xiao Chen didn't care so much. He drove the car directly to the front and parked the front of the car at the exit of the mansion. The cars were all queuing at the entrance. Xiao Chen didn't want to queue, so he naturally entered from the exit. The Cheng family's gatekeeper was slightly surprised, but he knew Xiao Chen. During Cheng Menjing's birthday party, Xiao Chen made a big scene at the door. They all saw it. Young Master Xiao, you are. The disciple knew that the Xiao family and the Cheng family weren't on good terms. He didn't know why Xiao Chen came at this time. I'm here to visit Grandpa Cheng and Uncle Cheng. Please open the railing. Xiao Chen said faintly. This. The disciple didn't dare to make the decision. He went back to the security booth and dialed Cheng Zhongming's number. Young master, Xiao Chen is here. He wants to visit you and the old master. What do you think? The disciple asked carefully. Oh. Xiao Chen is here. Let him in. Cheng Zhongming hesitated for a moment before agreeing. After all, in the family, only Cheng Zhongfan had a grudge against Xiao Chen. Speaking of old master Cheng Tianqiu, and Xiao Chen were his benefactors, so Cheng Zhongming had no reason to stop him. Xiao Chen drove into the Cheng family's mansion under the envious gazes of the cars lining up there and stopped at the door of the Cheng family's main living room. In fact, not every guest of the Cheng family could come to the main reception room. Before entering, the disciples at the door would inquire about the guest's identity and arrange a place for them to stay. They might be received by Cheng Zhongming, Cheng Zhongfan, or they might not see the important figures of the Cheng family at all, so they just put down the gifts and left. The only people who could be personally received by old master Cheng were the patriarchs of the other clans. However, Xiao Chen was an exception. Cheng Tianqiu had already learned from Cheng Zhongming that Xiao Chen was here, and Cheng Zhongfan had also sent away the guests in front of him. As soon as he came to the main reception room, he saw Xiao Chen swaggering in. Uncle Cheng, Grandpa Cheng, Miss Cheng, long time no see. Xiao Chen smiled and greeted Cheng Tianqiu, Cheng Zhongming, and Cheng Menjiang, but he deliberately ignored Cheng Zhongfan and Cheng Mengqiang. Xiao Chen is here. Cheng Tianqiu's expression was a little unnatural. He looked at Xiao Chen, and a trace of guilt flashed across his face. He already knew that Xiao Chen was Xiao Chang and that he was his savior, but how did the Cheng family treat the Xiao family? Although he was a little rash, and he was angry at the Xiao family for losing Cheng Zhongqian, now that Xiao Chen was his savior, a life for a life. This way, the Xiao family really did not owe the Cheng family anything. And he had previously promised Xiao Chen that he would betroth Cheng Menjiang to him, but now, Miss Cheng's mood was also a little complicated. Her hands clenched the corner of her clothes tightly. She really did not expect that Xiao Chen would come to the Cheng family today to pay a New Year's visit. She did not know if Xiao Chen was here to cause trouble. In her heart, she really did not want Xiao Chen to have a conflict with the Cheng family. However, some things did not go according to her wishes. The Cheng family, step by step, was pushed by Cheng Zhongfan to go against the Xiao family. However, what could she do? It was true that she was Xiao Chen's fiancée, but she was also a member of the Cheng family. She was really in a difficult position. She did not want either side to be hurt, but who would listen to her? To be honest, when she found out that Xiao Chang was Xiao Chen, she felt a burst of joy in her heart. It was as if she had eaten honey. She did not know if she liked Xiao Chen, but she knew that she was very comfortable and happy when she was with Xiao Chen. Knowing that the Cheng family had done a lot of things to let the Xiao family down, Miss Cheng, who had always been arrogant, also lowered her head at this moment. She did not dare to look directly into Xiao Chen's eyes. "Old Master Cheng, I wonder if you still remember me?" Xiao Chen asked with a smile. "This? How could I forget? Young hero Xiao, how have you been?" Cheng Tianqiu was stunned and smiled awkwardly. "Uncle Cheng, Missy, Happy New Year." Xiao Chen greeted again. Then, he pretended to suddenly discover something. "Ah! Isn't this Cheng Zhongfan? And your silly son? What the hell are you two doing here?" A hint of anger flashed across Cheng Zhongfan's face, but Cheng Mengqiang shivered and lowered his head. He did not dare to look at Xiao Chen. He was too afraid. Seeing Xiao Chen gave him a psychological shadow. "Xiao Chen, don't be complacent. Don't fantasize about anything. Your Xiao family is finished this time. I have already reported this to the sect. The sect will punish you." Cheng Zhongfan stiffened his neck and simply stopped pretending. he shouted at Xiao Chen sternly. Of course, the louder his voice was, the more timid he was at the moment. Slap. Xiao Chen did not care. He raised his arm and slapped Cheng Zhongfan's face, sending him flying. He landed heavily on the ground, twitched twice, and spat out 2 mouthfuls of blood. You! Cheng Zhongfan rolled his eyes and spat out blood. He was speechless. Xiao Chen, you are too presumptuous. Cheng Tianqiu flew into a rage. Even if you are the young hero Xiao who saved me, you are too unreasonable. Old Master Cheng, please calm down. I believe there are still some things you do not know. My father's disappearance was caused by Cheng Zhongfan. It was done by the Qishan faction behind him. Xiao Chen smiled coldly. My father took the blame for him for so long. I believe old Master Cheng should understand why Uncle Cheng Zhongqian also disappeared. Cheng Tianqiu had never heard of such a secret before. He was stunned for a moment, and his anger toward Xiao Chen dissipated quite a bit. However, an unknown fire surged in his heart. Could it be Cheng Zhongfan? How could this be? Cheng Zhongqian's death was caused by Cheng Zhongfan? If he did not know that Cheng Zhongfan was so capable, Cheng Tianqiu would not have believed it. But now, it seemed that Cheng Zhongfan was so extraordinary that he would definitely not be willing to let Cheng Zhongqian take over. He was a member of the sect, so he could not be the head of the family in the secular world, but his son could. Thinking of this, Cheng Tianqiu looked at Cheng Zhongfan and asked, "Is what Xiao Chen said true?" "Father. He is slandering me." Cheng Zhongfan roared. "How could I harm my brother?" "Xiao Chen. Do you have any proof?" Cheng Tianqiu calmed down and looked at Xiao Chen. He. Xiao Chen smiled faintly. He took out his phone and played the recording. Our sect is called the Qishan faction. It's a devil cultivation sect. As for why, I don't know. They only told us to deal with the Xiao family as much as possible to lure out the person they are looking for. They won't tell me the specifics, and I don't dare ask. Then what else do you know? What kind of training mission did my father go on? I don't know. The entire mission was arranged by the Qishan faction for my uncle. I only know that they went to the Blazing Mountain ruins in the Hakonamata Desert to explore, but I don't know the specifics. I didn't ask either. The conversation between Cheng Zhongfan and Xiao Chen could be heard through the phone speaker. Cheng Tianqiu's expression turned ugly. His entire body trembled as he pointed at Cheng Zhongfan with bloodshot eyes. Unfilial son, unfilial son. So that matter was orchestrated by the Qishan faction. To think that I treated them like distinguished guests. So what if it was? With the evidence in front of him, Cheng Zhongfan didn't deny it. He laughed maniacally. I'm not afraid to tell you that it was my uncle who did it. He's your brother, and he's not a good person either. Old thing, you probably don't know, right? I'm actually my uncle's illegitimate son. You idiot, you don't even know that your own brother has slept with your wife? Ha ha ha. Gah. Cheng Zhongfan's words came to an abrupt halt. He covered his mouth in horror, and his eyes were filled with horror. Just now, he seemed to have subconsciously received a psychological hint, which was to admit it. He subconsciously admitted it, but even though he admitted it, he didn't know why the truth slipped out of his mouth, and he regretted it the moment he said it. Xiao Chen was also a little stunned. He had only influenced Cheng Zhongfan's thoughts to admit the truth because Xiao Chen didn't want to waste time with him. Who would have thought that this guy would say so many things that he didn't know? What? Cheng Tianqiu's body trembled uncontrollably. He almost lost his mind. Cheng Tianqiu's brother, Cheng Tiannu, was actually an adopted son of the Cheng family. He was old Master Cheng's servant when he was young. Cheng Tianqiu would never have thought that Cheng Zhongfan was actually the illegitimate son of Cheng Tiannu and his late second wife. He also didn't expect that Qing Tiannu would seek refuge with the Qishan faction. This truth made him blink. So what if I said it? I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid to tell you, old thing. Now that the Qishan faction has chosen the Qing family, you can't refuse even if you want to. You can only admit it. Cheng Zhongfan didn't hide anything anymore. He laughed wildly. If you dare to go against me, you'll be going against the Qishan faction. Chapter 682. Unfilial son, unfilial son. Cheng Tianqiu clutched his chest and slumped on the chair. This sudden and shocking news was too much for him to handle. He really did not understand why Cheng Tianqiu and Cheng Zhongfan would do such a thing when he had treated them well. I'm not your son, unfilial my ass. Cheng Zhongfan could not stop laughing. Idiot, are you done laughing? Xiaoqin stepped on Cheng Zhongfan's head and said calmly, do you know why I killed that senior brother Niu and not you? Cheng Zhongfan's entire body trembled, the insolence from before had suddenly disappeared, and his face was filled with terror. He suddenly thought of something very important. The Kuei mountain sect was indeed powerful, but this Xiaoqin never played by the rules. It seemed like there was nothing this guy did not dare to do. He even dared to kill senior brother Niu. Wouldn't killing him, Cheng Zhongfan, be a piece of cake? Why did he not kill him before? It was not that he could not kill him. Cheng Zhongfan understood that it was probably because of Cheng Menjing. He was so scared that he almost wet his pants. From his previous arrogant image, he suddenly became a prisoner. He looked at Cheng Menjing with a sad face and begged weakly, Menjing, although I'm not Cheng Tianqiu's son, I'm the same as your father. We're both born of second madam. No matter what, I'm still your uncle. Pfft. When Xiaoqin heard Cheng Zhongfan's words, he almost spat on his face. Same mother but different uncle? What kind of phrase was that? Cheng Menjing's expression was uncertain. Cheng Zhongfan's words had obviously evoked the kindness in her heart. She could not bear to let Xiaoqin kill him. The eldest miss had always been a kind person. She treated Xiaoqin the same way, and she treated her family the same way. Xiaoqin saw Missy's expression. Although she didn't say anything, Xiaoqin knew that he shouldn't have killed Cheng Zhongfan in front of her. Even if the young mistress didn't say anything and didn't want to make things difficult for him, Xiaoqin didn't want to make Cheng Menjing sad. Cheng Zhongfan, I hope you don't court death. Xiaoqin lifted his foot and looked at Cheng Tianqiu. Old Master Cheng, I won't bother you anymore. Happy New Year. After that, Xiaoqin turned around and left the living room of the Cheng family. He had finished what he should say and what he should understand. It was meaningless for him to stay here. The rest was the internal affairs of the Cheng family. Second uncle. I hope this is the last time. Next time, I won't plead for mercy for you. Cheng Menjing looked at Cheng Zhongfan resolutely. Although she didn't say anything just now, neither did Xiaoqin, they both knew that it was for her sake. Xiaoqin has already left, and he's not far from death. Cheng family should be more honest and think about joining the Qishan sect. Cheng Zhongfan glanced at Xiaoqin from the corner of his eyes and suddenly trembled. He stood up arrogantly, shook the dust off his clothes, and said coldly, I hope Cheng Tianqiu will consider it carefully and not make a mistake. After that, Cheng Zhongfan pulled Cheng Mengqiang and left. Since they had already shed all pretense of cordiality, he didn't care about it anymore. As long as Xiaoqin wasn't around, he could continue to be arrogant. I've seen shameless people, but I've never seen someone as shameless as you. Cheng Tianqiu was furious, but he also knew that with his strength, he couldn't do anything to Cheng Zhongfan. Father, please calm down. Don't be angry. Cheng Zhongming was also furious, but because of his low strength, he couldn't comment much. Zhongming, tell me, am I muddle-headed? I actually believed Cheng Zhongfan's words and went against the Xiao family. In fact, the Xiao family is also a victim? When Qing Tianqiu said this, tears streamed down his face. He felt that he was muddle-headed. Xiao Chen helped him time and time again, but he treated him like this. If it wasn't for Qing Menjing, Xiao Chen wouldn't have cared about him at all. With Xiao Chen's strength, it was enough to destroy the Qing family 10 times over. Qing Tianqiu even thought that suppressing him to become Qing Menjing's servant was a very impressive thing. Now that he thought about it, Xiao Chen was just giving face to Qing Menjing. "Father, this isn't your fault. Who would have thought that Xiaofan would actually?" Qing Zhongming was also speechless. He couldn't really judge his half-brother. "Now, we've made one wrong move after another. We've already promised Qing Zhongfan's junior brother to marry Menjing to his son. If we go back on our words now..." Qing Tianqiu was a little worried. He seemed to have aged a lot all of a sudden. "Xiao Chen, there should be a way, right?" Qing Zhongming said. "Xiao Chen. No matter how powerful he is, can he be more powerful than the people from the Quishan sect? When the time comes, if they send out a martial general-level expert, how will Xiao Chen deal with it? According to my observation just now, Xiao Chen's real strength is probably only at the peak of the second-stage martial arts master. I don't know how he killed senior brother Niu, but he's definitely not a martial general," Qing Tianqiu said. Qing Menjing was also a little silent. Previously, Xiao Chen told her and Jin Beibei a lot about his experience in the Hakonamata desert. Currently, Xiao Chen's strength should be only at the peak of the second-stage magic master. The reason why he could fight opponents of a higher level was that his martial arts skills were different from others. However, for some reason, Qing Menjing had an inexplicable confidence in Xiao Chen. After hesitating for a while, Qing Menjing sent a message to Xiao Chen. "Xiao Chen, I want to marry junior brother Qing Zhongfan's son. Can you snatch me back?" After sending this message, Qing Menjing's face was flushed. Although she was encouraging Xiao Chen, this almost like a confession still made her heart flutter. However, she thought that Xiao Chen was her manservant. Of course, she should help him. It was not a big deal. Xiao Chen was driving to the Yu family when his phone rang. He took it out and saw that it was a message from Missy. Seeing the content, Xiao Chen couldn't help but smile. He could even imagine Qing Menjing pointing at him with her hands on her waist and at Sundra look, saying, "Humph, I don't want to marry him. You go and settle it, hee." Xiao Chen replied, "A toad wants to eat swan meat. I will let him eat **t. When Qing Menjing saw Xiao Chen's reply, she giggled, and the uneasiness in her heart lessened significantly. Perhaps, Xiao Chen really had a way. In fact, Xiao Chen had no way. But don't forget his current identity. He was already the deputy director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Previously, Yang Jiannan had given him a lot of inspiration. That was, if he couldn't win, he should use a gun. Why was the Supernatural Investigation Bureau so aloof and powerful? Even the martial arts world would give them some face? There was no other reason but because the Supernatural Investigation Bureau had guns. Xiao Chen didn't know if higher-ranked martial cultivators were afraid of guns, but martial masters were definitely afraid of guns. After he left the Qing family, he sent a message to Xia Shibin and Song Huawu, asking them to get a gun. He couldn't get more, but it wouldn't be a problem to get one in private. Xiao Chen didn't believe that he couldn't kill Jiang Yi with a gun in his hand. What could the Kuei Mountain sect do? The Great Xia Kingdom had a very strict control over firearms. The ordinary pistols on the black market were basically limited to martial artists and weren't very useful to martial masters. Therefore, it had to be the high-penetration firearms that Yang Jiannan used previously. Even the martial artists couldn't easily get their hands on these things. Of course, even if they got their hands on them, they wouldn't dare to use them. If the Supernatural Investigation Bureau found out about it, they would immediately send out armored troops. That was something they couldn't afford. Even if some powerful martial cultivators could avoid it, most of the sects would still be destroyed. Sects were sects, and they didn't want to touch these firearms. Otherwise, if the Supernatural Investigation Bureau determined that they were a gang, they would be screwed. They wouldn't even know how they died. A phone rang. Xiaofan took a look at the caller ID. It was Xia Zhili, so he picked it up. Xiaofan, I heard that you need weapons. What's wrong? Are you in trouble? Xia Zhili asked. Xiaofan didn't find it strange. If Xia Shibin wanted to get these weapons, he would have to go through Xia Zhili's hands. After asking, Xia Zhili would know that it was what he needed. Xiaofan didn't hide anything and told him about the Kuei Mountain sect. The martial arts sects. Xia Zhili hesitated for a moment and said, these sects have an agreement with the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. As long as they don't run amok in the secular world, we won't interfere with them. This time, the conflict between the aristocratic families and the sects escalated, which led to the other party sending people to the secular world. As long as they don't interfere with things outside of this matter, it won't be good for me to interfere. Even if you and I bring it up in the meeting, it won't go through with Ling Tian, I understand. I only need a gun. I'll take care of the rest myself. Xiaofan naturally understood the subtle relationship between the Supernatural Investigation Bureau and the martial arts world. Guns aren't omnipotent. This is also the reason why the Supernatural Investigation Bureau hasn't completely controlled the martial arts world all these years. These guns are still very lethal to martial artists, but the threat of guns is very small for a martial artist at my level. Unless I use things like missiles and rocket launchers, but once these things are used, it is very likely to cause unnecessary trouble. The director won't allow it. Xia Zhili said, what's more, when you reach the level above the general level, even this is useless. If you provoke these people in the martial arts world, there will be more trouble, although people at that level will not come out easily. Xiaofan was a little shocked when he heard Xia Zhili's words. Originally, he didn't know how powerful a martial artist was, but now that he said it, he realized that a martial artist was much more powerful than a martial artist. Think about it, I just broke through and was able to kill Yang Jiannan. The difference between our levels is still very obvious, so you must be careful. If the other party sends a martial artist, try not to fight them head-on. The best way is to temporarily compromise. Xia Zhili said. I'll see how it goes. Xiaofan's heart sank. Originally, he thought that the method he thought of was perfect. Who knew that the destructive power of these cannons would decrease? Didn't that mean he had to think of another method? Chapter 683. Unconsciously, the car drove to the Yu family. To Xiaofan's surprise, the Yu family's house had more than doubled in size. He hadn't returned to Songning for a few months, and the Yu family had actually changed so much. Was it going to become the first family bigger than the Cheng family? Did the Cheng family not interfere with the Yu family's expansion? There was an unwritten rule among the aristocratic families in Songning. That was, no family's house would exceed the Cheng family's. After all, the Cheng family was the first family, and they had to respect them. The Yu family actually expanded? And the Cheng family actually did not say anything? This was really strange. Did the Yu family get the support of the Tang family? And the Cheng family was busy with the Quishan sect, so they ignored this? In any case, Xiaofan still had some doubts as he parked the car at the gate of the Yu family's house. Those who come to visit the young master, line up behind. A disciple of the Yu family directly stopped in front of Xiaofan, pointing to the long line of cars and shouting. Xiaofan frowned. He didn't expect the Yu family to be as crowded as the Cheng family. There were so many cars coming to pay New Year's greetings. It was much more than the Xiao family. Because Xiaofan had run away before, there were not many people coming to visit the Xiao family. After all, it was not very stable. But what was so strange about the Yu family? Just when Xiaochen wanted to ask, another disciple quickly ran over and kicked the disciple who had stopped Xiaochen's car. The disciple fell to the side, and then respectfully said to Xiaochen, "You must be young Master Xiao. Please come in. You are young Master Kun's distinguished guest. Young Master Kun told me that whenever you come, I must report to him immediately." "Well." Xiaochen responded faintly, thinking that Yu Xiaochuan was quite loyal to him. He drove the car in and saw that the disciple was on the phone. Sure enough, as soon as Xiaochen drove into the Yu family's mansion and drove to Yu Xiaochuan's villa according to the road signs, he saw Yu Xiaochuan and Tang Tang coming to greet him. Xiaochen parked the car on the side of the road, got off and walked over. "Brother Xiao, you came to see us." Yu Xiaochuan's voice was soft and seemed to be a little shy. She looked at Xiaochen, her face seemed to be slightly red, and she was a little excited. "You've been gone for so many months. Tang Tang and I miss you." Xiaochen looked at Yu Xiaochuan's appearance and felt an indescribable strangeness. Why did this guy cultivate the chrysanthemum treasure book like a woman? Besides, it's normal for Tang Tang to miss me. What do you mean by that? Tang Tang, Xiaochuan, are you all right? Xiaochen nodded and said politely. Although Yu Xiaochuan made him feel a little awkward, some of the things that Yu Xiaochuan did made Xiaochen feel that he was very reliable as a younger brother. "Brother Xiao, I'm fine. It's just that you're not in Songning. I don't have any other plans. I just cultivate to kill time every day." Yu Xiaochuan lowered his head shyly. "Of course, it's also thanks to Sister Tang Tang taking care of me. Brother Xiao, why don't we move to your villa? Tang Tang can go, but what are you going to do there?" Xiaochen was stunned. "Besides, your Yu family has such a big mansion. Do you still want to go to the villa? I'm going to be a younger brother." Yu Xiaochuan shook his head and said with some annoyance, "Brother Xiao, it's actually boring for me to stay at home. Although my family wants me to be the young master, I don't want to do it. I think women. No, I think it's better for me to be a younger brother. I don't want to be the young master. But my family tells everyone about my strength and expands the Yu family. It's really annoying. You. What's your strength now?" Xiaochen suddenly asked. "I don't know. Maybe I'm a martial master?" This chrysanthemum treasured grimoire's cultivation level is a little different from normal martial arts. I don't know what it is either. In any case, a martial master from a clan that had a falling out with our Yu clan was accidentally killed by him. After that, our Yu clan's reputation rose. Yu Xiaochuan seemed to be talking about a very ordinary matter, but it made Xiaochen extremely shocked in his heart. What? Yu Xiaochuan was already strong enough to kill a martial master easily? Although he could do it, he was a cultivator. Could it be the effect of the chrysanthemum treasure book? Xiaochen thought. According to the rumors, this chrysanthemum treasured book was a divine art that was as famous as the art of dragon mastery, which had been lost for a long time. It was indeed true. Yu Xiaochuan was actually able to cultivate it to such a level in such a short period of time. Oh, anyway, it's so annoying. Let's not talk about this. Yu Xiaochuan saw that Xiaochen seemed to be very happy. Tang Tang, you talk to Brother Xiao. How about we go to his house for a few days? I don't want to receive those boring people anymore. It's too boring. Tang Tang naturally wanted to be close to Xiaochen, so she looked up at Xiaochen. Xiaochen patted his forehead. If Tang Tang went, of course, he would welcome it. But with such a strange Yu Xiaochuan, he always felt uncomfortable all over. There was a feeling of panic. Okay. Thinking that Yu Xiaochuan was also his loyal younger brother, Xiaochen reluctantly agreed. Then I won't talk to you anymore. You guys pack up and go over. I'll go visit the others. NN. Yu Xiaochuan nodded happily. Tang Tang looked at Yu Xiaochuan's appearance and couldn't help but sigh. She was Yu Xiaochuan's closest sister. She was clear about what happened to Yu Xiaochuan, but she couldn't say anything. Some things, if spoken out, would not be beautiful. It would make both sides embarrassed. It was better to pretend that she didn't know about it now. Maybe one day, Yu Xiaochuan could return to normal, right? Xiaochun greeted the two and returned to the car. He drove away from the Yu family and went to the Lu family and the Zhu family. He had to visit the homes of these two younger brothers. The Lu family was flattered by Xiao Chen's sudden visit. In any case, the Lu family was the weakest among these families. Even the Lu family gang's consecrator was respectful to Xiao Chen. This person was merely a martial artist at the peak of Stage 8 inner force. He was probably a very powerful existence in the past, but following Xiao Chen's disruption, all the aristocratic families exposed or obtained strength that exceeded what they had previously revealed, and the Lu family seemed even more insignificant. Thinking of this, Xiao Chen was a little awestruck. Sometimes the butterfly effect was really serious. He had improved his strength, but he didn't expect that the other families in Songning would also improve their strength more or less. Some were hidden before, and some were obtained later. In short, Songning would not be peaceful in the future unless there was another powerful family like the Cheng family to restrain these families. It was the same for the Zhu family. Previously, Zhu Yingxiong and Xiao Chen's relationship was looked down upon by everyone. But now, the Zhu family still had to go to the Xiao family to pay their New Year's greetings. There was no other reason. Even the old ancestor of the Zhu family, even if he was a Stage 10 inner force martial artist, was not Xiao Chen's opponent at the moment. It was no secret that the Cheng family found a martial artist at the peak of Stage 10 great perfection was killed by Xiao Chen. Compared to him, the Zhu family's old ancestor was nothing at all. How is Kerlin? After greeting the other members of the Zhu family, the rest was time for Xiao Chen and Zhu Yingxiong to get together alone. Fortunately, no one bullies her in school. However, I heard that her family seems to have encountered some difficulties, said Zhu Yingxiong. Oh? After listening, Xiao Chen asked subconsciously, what difficulties? I don't know. I asked her, but she didn't say anything, so I didn't ask. Zhu Yingxiong shrugged helplessly. In other words, she is still going to school normally? Xiao Chen breathed a sigh of relief after listening. Even if she encountered some difficulties, it was not serious. Otherwise, Kerlin would not go to school. And, she is still going to school. Zhu Yingxiong nodded. Xiao Chen did not ask much. He planned to go to the morning market street after the New Year. These days, the morning market street was closed for the New Year. After chatting with Zhu Yingxiong for a while, Xiao Chen also stood up and said goodbye. He still had to go to the villa to see Yi Xiaoya, so he did not stay for long. Moreover, the Zhu family also had other things to do. Although the Zhu family was not as good as the Xiao family, there were still many people who came to pay New Year's greetings. As the younger generation heir of the family, Zhu Yingxiong also had to show up. After saying goodbye, Xiao Chen went to the villa. At this time, the villa was a little quiet. He did not know why it was lacking a kind of people. The eldest miss had gone home, but Yi Xiaoya and Jean Bebe should still be there. Xiao Chen rang the doorbell, but he did not open the door directly. If there was no one, Xiao Chen would leave. After a while, when Xiao Chen was about to turn around and get into the car, Yi Xiaoya came out yawning in a daze. Seeing Xiao Chen, she was stunned. Xiao Chen, it's the New Year. Why are you here? Just you? Xiao Chen saw that only Yi Xiaoya came out and did not see Jean Bebe. He guessed that it should be so. Cheng Menjing and Jean Bebe have gone back for the New Year. Naturally, I'm alone. Yi Xiaoya said in boredom, are you here to accompany me for dual cultivation? It's still daytime, isn't it? Xiao Chen was stunned. Who cares? Besides, what haven't you seen? Yi Xiaoya yawned indifferently. Are you coming? No, I'll leave after a while. It's just that it's the new year, so I'm here to see you. Xiaochen found that Yi Xiaoya was becoming more and more casual with him, so he let down his guard. Aren't you afraid that I'll peek at you in broad daylight? You've been peeking a lot. Yi Xiaoya snorted and opened the door of the villa. Aren't you going back to the sect for the new year? Xiaochen asked. Of course I'm going back. She's been urging me to go back several times. I told her that my strength will improve faster here, so Master agreed. Yi Xiaoya said, so, if you don't do dual cultivation with me, I'll be scolded when I go back. Okay. I'll definitely come when I'm free, Xiaochen said and walked into the living room of the villa. As soon as he entered the door, a black shadow pounced on him and threw itself at Xiaochen, giving him a great shock. He was about to make a move when he took a closer look. It was the super invincible dog in the universe. Chapter 684. Invincible dog? Why is it in the villa? Xiaochen was stunned. It was in my room before. Now that I'm the only one in the villa, I'm so happy not to see Jean Bebe. He. Yi Xiaoya grinned. I'll have to do it for 2 days. It seems like you're being suppressed by her. Xiaochen shrugged. That's because I don't want to lower myself to her level. Otherwise, how could she beat me? Yi Xiaoya said proudly, I was going easy on her. Actually, Bebe doesn't have any bad intentions. Xiaochen smiled. Yes, if she was bad, would have killed her long ago. Yi Xiaoya humphed and said, by the way, let me tell you something serious. Can you go back to the sect with me after Chinese New Year? Oh? For what? Xiaochen was slightly stunned. Why would he go with her? Tell the people in my sect that I actually like you. I don't want to be the saintess of the demon clan and I don't want to participate in the special training for the saintess. I want to stay in the secular world. Yi Xiaoya looked at Xiaochen and said word by word. Your master can't beat me to death, right? Xiaochen widened his eyes. Are you serious? Of course. I might not like you, but who told you to see my body? I'm relying on you now. Yi Xiaoya rolled her eyes at Xiaochen and said shamelessly, the saintess of the demon clan has to be pure. She can't even let others see her body. Otherwise, if the leader of the demon clan finds out, you'll die a horrible death. Think about it. Many people know about us. There's no such thing as an impenetrable wall in the world. If someone goes out and does something, we'll both die. The leader of the demon clan is awesome. The leader of the demon clan hasn't been elected yet, right? Don't you want me to run for it? However, Xiaochen did not think much of it. If he were to encounter these demon sect master candidates now, Xiaochen would be able to send them to the southern heavenly gate with one slap. Aya, you haven't chosen yet, have you? It's just that I have to choose. It's actually very complicated. I only heard about it from my master recently. Before this, it wasn't urgent, so I didn't pay much attention to it. But now that I've asked around, it's not that easy to become a sect master of a demon sect. Also, there's someone who's manipulating things from behind the scenes. Yi Xiaoya lowered her voice. Holy sh*t, this thing can be manipulated behind the scenes? If I were to participate in the election, would they force me to lose to someone else? Xiaochen was surprised. That's not it. Manipulating things from behind the scenes means that there will be stronger people hiding in the dark. When the time comes, they will amaze the world with a single brilliant feat. These demon sect master candidates that you see now are actually just cannon fodder. Yi Xiaoya said, our demonic star sect is just a small sect in the demon clan. There are real big sects controlling it. We're just pawns. When I heard that it's so serious, I didn't want to participate. What if I implicate you? Also, I don't want to cause trouble. Tell me, what's going on with your demon clan? Also, what's going on with this demon clan master? Xiaofan asked with a frown. From the looks of it, he seemed to have looked down on the heroes of the world. The few he had met were just trash. The pugilistic world is divided into the inner pugilistic world and the outer pugilistic world. You know this, right? Yi Xiaoya asked. Yes, I've heard of it. Xiaofan recalled the Kai family in Lan City. Back then, Kai Wujin said that he was an inner disciple of the pugilistic world, so he was probably an inner pugilistic world. If that's the case, it's easy. Actually, our Devil Star sect is an outer pugilistic world sect. Outer pugilistic world sects have more or less contact with the secular world, so we're not completely isolated from the world. However, inner pugilistic world rarely operates in the secular world. Yi Xiaoya nodded and continued, to put it bluntly, the pugilistic world that we usually talk about in the secular world is the outer pugilistic world. People in the inner pugilistic world usually call themselves people of the pugilistic world to distinguish themselves from the outer pugilistic world. Then, this demon clan saintess election and sect master election, are they the inner pugilistic world or the outer pugilistic world? Xiaofan asked. Listen to me first. Yi Xiaoya waved her hand and gestured for Xiaofan to stop talking and listen to her. It's like this. This is actually organized by the outer pugilistic world's demon clan, which has the highest status in the pugilistic world. This demon clan is the Qishan sect. What? Xiaofan jumped up from the sofa and widened his eyes. The Qishan sect? The demon clan with the highest status in the pugilistic world? It can't be, right? Yes, you know the Qishan sect. Yi Xiaoya looked at Xiaofan with some confusion. Logically speaking, Xiaofan and the Qishan sect did not have any interactions. It's okay. Go on. Xiaofan was a little depressed. He was really lucky. Damn it, he did not offend them, but he offended the most powerful one. He really had nothing to say. Do you have a grudge against the Qishan sect? Yi Xiaoya suddenly became very nosy. Not really. Is the Qishan sect very strong? Xiaofan asked. Actually, you can't say that the Qishan sect is very strong. It's just that the Qishan sect's backer is very strong. Yi Xiaoya's expression froze. She said, outer pugilistic world sects usually have a sect as a backer in the inner pugilistic world. Just like in the secular world, we have a martial arts family as our spokesperson. The martial arts family relies on us, and we rely on the inner pugilistic world. Oh? Then what does the inner pugilistic world rely on? Xiaofan asked. I don't know about that. I haven't reached that level yet. I don't even know much about the inner pugilistic world. Yi Xiaoya shook her head and said, the Qishan sect is not the strongest among the outer pugilistic world's demon sects, but it has the strongest backer. This can't be helped. So that's how it is. Go on then. Xiaofan breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it was not the strongest. As for the inner pugilistic world, they probably would not send out a master for such a trivial matter. Actually, in the outer pugilistic world, there was originally no demon sect master, because only the inner pugilistic world has a demon sect master. The outer pugilistic world is a bunch of undeveloped sections. It's actually not appropriate to choose a sect master. Yi Xiaoya looked at Xiaofan and continued, there has always been a demon sect master. At that time, the inner pugilistic world and the outer pugilistic world would choose a sect master together. Then, they would be sent to the inner pugilistic world. The outstanding ones would become the inner pugilistic world sect master's wife or concubine. What about now? Now they're choosing the outer pugilistic world's demon sect master? Xiaofan frowned. He had a feeling that something was not right. Wasn't this overstepping their authority? She was supposed to be the inner pugilistic world sect master's wife, but now she was the outer pugilistic world sect master's wife. What was going on? Was the Qishan sect stupid? No matter how powerful their background was, this was still a slap in the face. Seeing Xiao Chen's confusion, Yi Xiaoya smiled bitterly and said, "You can tell too? So this might not be a good thing. Are you afraid that the inner pugilistic world will blame you?" Xiao Chen asked in a deep voice. "I heard that the inner pugilistic world's demon sect master has not appeared in public for many years. I heard that he has fallen. Currently, the backing sect of the Qishan sect is temporarily taking over the demon sect's power." Yi Xiaoya said, "The demon sect's deputy sect master is in this sect. So for the time being, it's impossible to blame them. However, after I found out about the inner pugilistic world, I don't think it's interesting. The demon sect master will definitely be the Qishan sect. I guess it's just an excuse for the backing sect to unify the outer pugilistic world's demon sect. So even if you go to the election, you probably won't stand a chance." "Oh? Do the other sects know about it?" Xiao Chen was a little confused. If the other demon sects in the outer pugilistic world know about it, why would they still go to the election? Didn't they all give up? Of course they don't know. "My master. Sai, let me tell you, don't tell anyone else." Yi Xiaoya suddenly looked at Xiao Chen with a mysterious and solemn expression. "Well, of course I won't tell anyone. Besides, who else can I tell?" Xiao Chen shook his head. "My master also has connections in the inner pugilistic world. She's not the backing of our sect, but someone else." Yi Xiaoya said, "I don't know the details. She told me all this. She wants me to give up the election and not get involved in these things, but it's up to me to make my own choice. However, the sect hopes that I can become the saintess. After all, even the sect master of the outer pugilistic world is a very powerful existence. After all, we have to spend our days in the outer pugilistic world." Xiao Chen nodded. He suddenly felt that things were getting more and more complicated. Since the Qishan sect had such a strong backing, why did they still deal with the Xiao family? Did they have nothing better to do? Xiao Chen did not think that with the Qishan sect status, they would still be interested in the Xiao family. The Xiao family was not even a real martial arts family. It could only be considered a small family in a second-tier city in the secular world. The Qishan sect deliberately designed this kind of family. If there was no deeper reason behind it, Xiao Chen would not believe it. However, what was the reason? According to Cheng Zhongfan, Xiao Chen wanted to lure someone out. However, who could be lured out by destroying his own family? His own parents were missing, and the Xiao family did not have a thriving population. It was really strange. "Then, if you take me to your sect, you can avoid participating in the election?" Xiao Chen asked. "Well, if you say that you slept with me, I don't think the sect will take the risk to ask me again. If you only say that you saw me, they might kill you and let me continue to participate in the election." Yi Xiaoya threatened Xiao Chen. "They have to be able to kill me first." Xiao Chen was speechless. "You might as well say that they killed you. I can still be nervous." "All right. Anyway, just treat it as helping me. How about it?" Yi Xiaoya grabbed Xiao Chen's arm. "Forget it, I'll reluctantly help you." Xiao Chen was really at his wit's end because of Yi Xiaoya. Since he had nothing else to do, there was no harm in going. Doing so might offend the Qishan sect, but Xiao Chen had already offended the Qishan sect. What was there to be afraid of? "I knew you would agree." "That's great." Yi Xiaoya was happy. "Then go do what you need to do. I won't look for you for dual cultivation today." Chapter 685. Yi Xiaoya had actually planned to seduce Xiao Chen during the dual cultivation and act coquettishly to get him to agree. She didn't expect Xiao Chen to agree so readily, so she didn't force Xiao Chen. It seemed that Xiao Chen had a lot of things to do. Xiao Chen stood up and returned to his room. He left in a hurry and left a lot of things here. However, when Xiao Chen opened the door, he was slightly stunned. Xiao Yi, someone entered my room? No. Yi Xiaoye was also stunned. Was it Cheng Menjing or Jin Beibei? Xiao Chen's room wasn't locked, but Xiao Chen looked at the mess inside. It seemed that a thief had broken in. It shouldn't have been done by the two of them. No, look. Why is it so messy? Yi Xiaoye walked over and looked into the room. Then, she slapped her forehead and said, I remember now. The invincible dog went in, and I brought him down from the house. He came to your room to play for a while by accident, and he's been playing in your room these days. Oh. Xiao Chen looked at the scene. It was really possible that it was done by a dog. He shook his head and walked in. He planned to tidy up, but he was stunned again. Damn, who touched my medicine dregs? Medicine dregs? Yi Xiaoye was a little puzzled. What medicine dregs? At this moment, Invincible Dog ran over. When it saw a bag of medicine dregs, it bit it directly and started eating. It ate with great relish. Xiao Chen and Yi Xiaoye were dumbfounded. Aya, damn, puppy, what are you made of? You can eat this too? Xiao Chen and his friends were stunned. This dog actually ate medicine dregs? Looking at the other empty bags, Xiao Chen found a few strands of dog fur. It must have been eaten by Invincible Dog. Yi Xiaoye was also a little speechless. She said weakly, did it eat my medicine dregs too? Yours was eaten too? Xiao Chen was stunned. Yes, I brewed medicine. I put the remaining medicine dregs in the trash can, but Invincible Dog ran out with them in its mouth. I thought it was going to help me throw them away, so I didn't care. I always thought it was quite obedient. I didn't expect. Yi Xiaoye also covered her forehead with a face full of disbelief. No wonder it rarely eats when I feed it, but it is still energetic every day. Eat it, eat it. Xiao Chen shook his head. This thing isn't human. It's too magical. It's amazing. It's not human anyway. Yi Xiaoye said with a smile. My medicine dregs are enough for it to eat for a while. If you have more, just deal with it directly. Xiao Chen didn't care about it. According to Yi Xiaoye, Invincible Dog had been eating medicine dregs for a day or two. It was really an invincible dog. Yi Xiaoye didn't know what to say. Xiao Chen left the villa and drove to the Jin family again. It was also the last stop of Xiao Chen's visit. As for Lu Shuangshuang, he didn't plan to go there today. He would visit all the aristocratic families first. I knew you would come. In the Jin family, some people came to visit, but not many. Therefore, Xiao Chen's journey was smooth. He met Jin Beibei and Golden Fur Lion King directly. As soon as they met, Golden Fur Lion King said to Xiao Chen with a smile. Grandpa Jin, Happy New Year. Xiao Chen said respectfully. Xiao Chen, you have been lying to me all the time. You are so powerful, but you have been hiding? Golden Fur Lion King laughed and said, Now, it's even more fitting for you to be my grandson-in-law. What do you think? Xiao Chen didn't expect that Golden Fur Lion King would snub him with his first sentence when he came to visit. He blushed. Xiao Chen could only smile bitterly. Grandpa Jin, please don't joke with me. We are still in school, a big family can get engaged first. Golden Fur Lion King said with a smile, besides, didn't you Xiaochuan quit school to get married? Well. Xiao Chen was a little embarrassed. Okay, let's not talk about this. I won't joke with you. Grandpa Jin knows that you can come and show your sincerity. Golden Fur Lion King waved his hand and said with a big smile, It's getting late. Go back early. What? Xiao Chen was stunned and a little puzzled. Go back quickly, in case something happens to the Cheng family. Golden Fur Lion King said as if he was referring to something. Grandpa Jean, what do you know? Xiao Chen was stunned. Cheng Xiaofan went to find someone. Everyone knows that. He will definitely take revenge on the Xiao family. So, you'd better not go out these days. The Xiao family may be in danger if you are not here. Golden Fur Lion King reminded him. Xiao Chen was shocked. That's right, but he had just gone to the Cheng family and caused a ruckus, but he didn't find any clues. However, he still had to be on guard, so he nodded solemnly and said, "All right, Grandpa Jean, then I'll go back first. Bebe, Happy New Year." Happy New Year, cousin-in-law. Jean Bebe waved her hand at Xiao Chen and grinned. However, Xiao Chen felt that she had something on her mind when he looked at her. I will go back to the villa after the new year. Let's have some fun together. Xiao Chen said with a smile. Okay. Jean Bebe nodded. Xiao Chen could tell that Jean Bebe was not right. However, since Golden Fur Lion King was here, it was inappropriate for him to ask more questions. If Jean Bebe told him that she was on her period, it would be even more embarrassing. Therefore, Xiao Chen could only ask her in detail after he went back to the villa. After bidding farewell to Golden Fur Lion King, Xiao Chen left the Jean family. Watching Xiao Chen's back, Jean Bebe sighed. What, Bebe? You don't want to see him go? So, Grandpa, you won't do anything then? Golden Fur Lion King looked at Jean Bebe with a smile. How is that possible? I love adventures and sex the most. I can't wait. Jean Bebe waved her hands and said, "It's just 3 years. It's not a big deal. My cousin-in-law has graduated from college. He and my cousin are getting married. I will be the bridesmaid. La la la. Bebe." Looking at his granddaughter, Golden Fur Lion King sighed. Although Jean Bebe was wearing a cunning smile, Golden Fur Lion King clearly saw that there were tears of reluctance in her eyes. I'm going to watch the TV series of Campus Bell. Jean Bebe turned around and ran away. Maybe I won't see it in a few days. I wonder if the sect has Wi-Fi. Xiao Chen returned to the Xiao family, but the Xiao family was still in harmony. There was nothing wrong. Yu Xiaochuan, on the other hand, had come with Tang Tang. They were sitting in the living room. The moment he came in, Xiao Chen was pulled aside by Xiao Xiao. She asked in a low voice, "Brother, what's going on? Yu Xiaochuan came to our house with Sister Tang, claiming that you asked them to stay here. What's the meaning of that?" "Nothing. Arrange a house for them. Isn't there an empty villa?" Xiao Chen had a headache, too. He said, "Arrange a house for Yu Xiaochuan. Tang Tang can sleep in my room tonight." "No, I'm going to sleep with you," Xiao Xiao said. "Huh?" Xiao Chen looked at Xiao Xiao blankly. "What did you say?" "What?" "Some people set off firecrackers during the Spring Festival. I'm scared. You used to hug me to sleep when we were kids." Xiao Xiao said, "Are you forgetting your sister because of me?" "Well, how old are you?" Xiao Chen couldn't help but smile bitterly. He wanted to spend the Spring Festival with Tang Tang, but Xiao Xiao said that. "I'm scared no matter how old I am." Xiao Xiao said affirmatively, "I've moved the bedding over. I'll stay in your room tonight." "Then, how did you spend the Spring Festival before?" Xiao Chen didn't know what to say. He felt it was very weird. It seemed that Xiao Xiao was hostile to Tang Tang. "Before. I didn't sleep all night. I was so sleepy in the morning." "You don't want me to be like that, do you?" Xiao Xiao blinked. "Oh, okay." Xiao Chen couldn't refuse, so he had to agree. "Then will Tang Tang live with you, Xiaochuan?" Haven't they always been living together? Xiao asked. Forget it. Xiaochen thought that Yu Xiaochuan probably had no interest in Tang Tang at all. They didn't look like husband and wife, but more like sisters. Moreover, Tang Tang was more manly. Xiao went to arrange the room. Xiaochen told them about the arrangement. Yu Xiaochuan didn't care, but Tang Tang was a little regretful. She lowered her voice. Xiaochen, are you kidding me? Xiao is so old, and she still wants to sleep with you. Aren't you afraid that something bad will happen? How can that be? You think I'm too dirty? Xiaochen actually felt that both of them were adults. They weren't children anymore. It was really inconvenient for them to live together, but Xiao insisted. Xiaochen couldn't help it. You are very dirty. You just met me for a few days, and you want to look at my photo. Tang Tang said. Isn't that a joke? Xiaochen was embarrassed. It's okay, Tang Tang. I will sleep on the sofa or on the floor. Let Brother Xiao find a chance to come over. Yu Xiaochuan smiled understandingly. Right, Xiaochuan, you have the strength now. You don't have to be afraid of me. Why are you still willing to be my younger brother? Xiaochen took advantage of the room not being tidied up and lowered his voice to ask the doubts in his heart. That. I just admire Brother Xiao. In front of Brother Xiao, I have a feeling of wanting to surrender. Yu Xiaochuan said with some shyness, so for Brother Xiao, I am willing to do anything. Xiaochen's face was full of disbelief. It's better not to ask this. Although it's a younger brother expressing his feelings, but, it's awkward. If it were Xia Shibin, he might say the same, but it would become, I admire the boss. For the boss, I will go through fire and water without hesitation. Although the meaning was the same, the feeling was completely different when it was said by two people. Okay. I know your loyalty. Xiaochen nodded. You and Tang Tang go rest first, okay, Brother Xiao, see you tomorrow. Yu Xiaochuan was elated. It seemed that it was a very pleasant thing to live in the Xiao family. Chapter 686. In fact, the Yu family didn't want Yu Xiaochuan to go out, but no one could stop him. Now the Yu family depended on Yu Xiaochuan. Strength determined the right to speak. This saying was true. Yu Xiaochuan's strength was superior. Naturally, his words carried enormous weight in the family. Night fell. Xiaochen sent Tang Tang and Yu Xiaochuan to their guest villa. They sat inside for a while, and then left under Yu Xiaochuan's warm escort. Looking at his villa from afar, Xiaochen was a little hesitant. Although he knew that he and Xiao were siblings, it was a little inconvenient for them to live together. Looking at the fireworks in the distant sky and the sound of firecrackers, Xiaochen sighed. He quickened his pace and pushed open the door of the villa. It was warm inside. There were festive decorations everywhere. But why did Xiaochen feel that it was like a new house? Xiao was still decorating something excitedly. In short, the originally plain room was decorated with lanterns and colored banners. Xiao, don't be busy. Why do I have to make my house so festive? People who don't know will think that I'm married. Xiao blushed and said, I'm just thinking that it's the new year, so I want to be festive. Well, you're tired. Go to bed early. Xiaochen said because he saw that Xiao still wanted to light candles, which made him even more speechless. Wedding night? Oh. Xiao didn't continue, brother, I'll take a bath first. Well, go ahead. Xiaochen nodded, took out his mobile phone, and played with it. There were countless New Year's greetings from everyone. It was a mess. Xiaochen deleted some and replied some. Feeling bored, Xiaochen turned on the television and watched a replay of the gala. He watched it with relish and was quite engrossed in it. Then, he heard a noise from the washroom. He looked up and saw Xiao Xiao walking out with mist around her. However, she was only wrapped in a towel. Xiao Chen's eyelids twitched. "Xiao Xiao, why are you wearing so little? Go back and put on your clothes." Xiao Chen's voice was unprecedentedly strict. He felt that Xiao Xiao was a little too casual. Even if they were biological siblings, she shouldn't be like this. Brother, don't you know that I never wear pajamas when I sleep? I'm naked." Xiao Xiao was stunned and looked at Xiao Chen innocently. "What's wrong with me? You're my brother, what's wrong with that?" Xiao Chen was stunned. Then he remembered that Xiao Xiao didn't like to wear pajamas when she was young, but she still wore panties. At that time, Xiao Xiao hadn't developed yet, so it didn't matter if she was topless. But now, looking at Xiao Xiao's innocent expression, Xiao Chen felt a little helpless. He stood up and said, "I'm going to wash up. You can go to bed first and cover yourself with the blanket." "All right." Xiao Xiao nodded. She lifted her legs and climbed onto the bed right in front of Xiao Chen. She lifted the towel and revealed a glimpse of spring, causing Xiao Chen to feel a little dizzy. He hurriedly turned around and walked quickly to the bathroom. He had made up his mind to talk to Xiao Xiao in a while. This wasn't a good thing. Both of them were grown up. How could they not have any taboo? Thinking about Xiao Xiao's matter, Xiao Chen quickly washed up and came out. Seeing that Xiao Xiao had gone to bed and got under the blanket, Xiao Chen was relieved. He walked over and said, "Xiao Xiao, I have something to tell you." Xiao Xiao didn't respond. "Xiao Xiao?" Xiao Chen called. Xiao Xiao still didn't respond. Xiao Chen was a little puzzled. He walked over and found that Xiao Xiao had actually fallen asleep. This made him feel very helpless, but he was also relieved. He didn't have to face Xiao Xiao, who was wearing so little, so his pressure wasn't so great. He walked to the side and sat on the sofa. Xiao Chen continued to play with his mobile phone. Outside the window, there was another burst of firecrackers. Because the place where the Xiao family lived was relatively empty, and it wasn't the most suburban area, there were many villas and industrial parks nearby. At this time, they were all setting off firecrackers. On the bed, Xiao Xiao's body shivered and moaned, "Brother. I'm scared, Xiao Xiao, don't be scared." Xiao Chen stood up and sat on the bed. He gently patted Xiao Xiao's back and comforted her. "Brother. I'm scared. You're protecting me." The sound of firecrackers outside the window was getting louder and more intense. Xiao Chen cursed in his heart. It's the middle of the night. It's not New Year's Eve. Why are you still setting off firecrackers? But no matter how good Xiao Chen's martial arts were, he couldn't interfere with others setting off firecrackers, right? He was helpless. He could only put his hand on Xiao Xiao's back and comforted her. "Okay, okay. It's okay. Brother is by your side, N." Xiao Xiao seemed to be talking in her sleep. Soon, she fell asleep again and there was no sound. Xiao Chen watched for a while. He planned to stand up and go back to the sofa, but as soon as he took his hand away, Xiao Xiao moaned like a doctor. Xiao Chen had no choice but to put his hand back again. Boom! It was unknown which immoral person had set up a divine cannon or some sort of firecracker nearby. Xiao Xiao was so scared that she trembled and her hair stood on end. "Xiao Xiao, don't be scared." Xiao Chen was furious. F***ck, how can this kind of firecracker be set off in the middle of the night? Which child doesn't sleep and plays with this in the middle of the night? Brother. I'm scared. Hold me. Xiao Xiao's body was shivering. Xiao Chen was about to refuse when there was another loud boom outside. Xiao Xiao's face was pale. Without a choice, Xiao Chen had to go to bed, but it was outside the quilt. He gently hugged Xiao Xiao, but he didn't dare to hug her tightly. After all, there was a difference between a man and a woman. Boom, Xiaofan almost wanted to curse. Can you do it again? Motherf asterisk cur, if you set off one more time, I will burn your house. Xiao shivered, and her body shrank down. The softness of her chest was about to rub against Xiao Chen's arm. Xiao Chen was also scared and quickly raised his hand. Who? It was close. Xiao Chen almost touched a place that he shouldn't have touched. Xiao shrunk her body and fell asleep again. She seemed to be very sweet. After that, there were very few people who set off firecrackers. In the dead of the night, Xiao Chen looked at Xiao. He didn't sleep all night. Early the next morning, Xiao woke up in the sound of firecrackers. She yawned. Xiao, you're awake? Xiao Chen immediately asked, how did you sleep last night? Not good. Xiao said stiffly. Xiao Chen was stunned, but he looked at Xiao's bloodshot eyes and wondered, why do you look like you didn't sleep well? The firecrackers were too scary. You didn't hug me. I woke up a few times in a daze. Of course, I didn't sleep well. Xiao said angrily. Oh, it's really annoying. If someone sets off firecrackers again tonight, I will go and find them. Xiao Chen said angrily. Don't. Xiao said subconsciously. Xiao Chen was stunned. Ah, it's New Year. Setting off firecrackers is also a celebration. How can we stop them? Xiao quickly said, let's accommodate them. You can't stop others from setting off firecrackers just because you have the strength now. When you were young, you took me to set off firecrackers. At that time, Grandpa didn't allow us to set off firecrackers at home, so we secretly made a date at night. What? Xiao Chen's eyes widened. We made a date to set off firecrackers. Of course, I only dared to set off fireworks. Xiao said. Okay. Xiao Chen gave up. Can this be called a date? He didn't want to dwell on this topic. He found that Xiao didn't avoid anything when she was with him, which gave him a little headache. She was already so old. She should avoid these things. How could she talk and do things without a barrier? Okay, wash up. We should go for breakfast. Xiao sat up, and the quilt on her body slipped down, revealing a snow-white skin. Xiao Chen was almost scared to death by her. He quickly turned his head. Xiao, can you be more careful? What's wrong? Xiao was stunned and somewhat inexplicable. You're not wearing clothes. Can you consider your brother? Xiao Chen said helplessly. Oh, you're my brother. What else could there be? Xiao didn't think much of it, but she suddenly said, brother, do you have some thoughts about me? Otherwise, why would you think so much? You must be a siscon, right? I'm so scared. Xiao Chen was speechless. Am I the siscon, or are you the brother con? I'm going to wash up. Xiao skipped to the bathroom. Xiao Chen quickly slipped out of the villa. He was afraid that Xiao would turn around and come out of the bathroom naked. That would be even more awkward. He wanted to talk to Xiao, but looking at her state, he couldn't continue the conversation. She probably wouldn't understand, so Xiao Chen could only give up. Xiao Chen, why are you standing at the door? Where's Xiao? Xiao Hai was doing his morning exercises. He was a martial artist, so he naturally had to do some regular exercises every morning. He ran past Xiao Chen's door and saw Xiao Chen standing at the door in a daze. He couldn't help but be puzzled. Where's Xiao? Inside. Xiao Chen pointed to the villa. Oh, I'll go in and take a look. This child has been timid since she was young. Your second aunt and I can't do anything about it. In the past, it was your second aunt who accompanied her. Xiao Hai said and walked in. Second aunt accompanied Xiao Xiao. Xiao Chen was stunned. He was fooled. This girl said that she couldn't sleep in the past. Wasn't she bluffing? However, just as he wanted to say something, he saw Xiao Hai about to barge into the villa. He was shocked and quickly pulled him back. Wait, Xiao Xiao is not wearing clothes. Xiao Hai was stunned. He stopped in his tracks and turned around. He looked at Xiao Chen in disbelief. You can't be, second uncle, what are you thinking? Xiao Chen's face was a little helpless. Am I not standing here? I'll wait for her to get dressed before going in. Chapter 687. Oh. Xiao Hai laughed and said, then I won't go in. I'll run a lap. See you in the banquet hall. Okay, uncle. Xiao Chen breathed a sigh of relief. He was almost misunderstood. After waiting for a while, Xiao Xiao didn't come out. Xiao Chen couldn't help but ask, Xiao Xiao, are you done? Brother, come and help me. Xiao Xiao's voice rang out. Xiao Chen pushed the door and returned to the villa. He saw Xiao Xiao wearing a winter cotton cheongsam. The zipper in the back couldn't be pulled up. A large part of her back was exposed. The snow-white skin made Xiao Chen dizzy. Xiao Xiao, you, help me pull it up. I'm exhausted. Xiao Xiao complained, alas, my breasts are bigger. I bought it last year, but I can't fit it this year. Xiao Chen was speechless. He pretended not to hear it. He walked over and helped Xiao Xiao pull up the zipper. Then he said as if nothing had happened, let's go eat. Xiao Chen also realized that the more he tried to avoid the topic, the more this girl would take advantage of him. He might as well pretend that nothing had happened and not continue the conversation. That way, Xiao Xiao would not be able to continue the conversation. Sure enough, Xiao Xiao saw that Xiao Chen didn't pay attention to her, so she didn't say anything. But she still pushed her breasts left and right, as if she was adjusting the position. Xiao Chen pretended not to see anything and walked to the door. Xiao Xiao followed him. The two of them came to the Xiao family's dining room. At this time, Yu Xiaochuan and Tang Tang had already arrived. They were sitting at the table waiting for others. Brother Xiao, you're here. I thought you would come to me last night. Yu Xiaochuan waved to Xiao Chen with a smile and a blush. Ahem. Xiao Xiao was afraid of setting off firecrackers yesterday, so I accompanied her. I didn't go to Tang Tang. Xiao Chen corrected. What do you mean go to you? What can I do with you? Well, it's okay. We plan to stay here forever. Yu Xiaochuan nodded and said with a smile. After a while, the rest of the Xiao family also came. In fact, it was just old Master Xiao, second uncle, and second aunt. The Xiao family really didn't forget. Even if Yu Xiaochuan and Tang Tang were included, the whole table could not be filled. Xiao Chen, I already know that you went to the Cheng family yesterday. You exposed Cheng Zhongfan's secret. With his character, he definitely won't let you go easily. I'm afraid that he will make trouble for you. Xiao Yuanshan walked in and said worriedly. After all, this matter was not a secret and the Cheng family did not plan to hide it. What? Whoever dares to not let Brother Xiao off, I'll scratch him to death. Yu Xiaochuan suddenly stood up, somewhat agitated. Young Master Xiaochuan, don't get agitated. Xiao Yuanshan was shocked, he didn't expect Yu Xiaochuan's reaction to be so intense. Xiaochuan, mind your image. Tang Tang glared at him. Oh, okay, Sister Tang Tang. Yu Xiaochuan sat down, a little embarrassed. It's fine. We'll deal with it when it comes. The Quishan sect is recently studying the Demon Gate competition and the Saintess election. Maybe they don't have time to deal with Cheng Zhongfan. Xiao Chen said. Let's eat. Xiao Yuanshan nodded. Looking at Xiao Chen's expression, he seemed to have a sense of propriety. He was not so worried anymore and called everyone to eat. While everyone was eating, a disciple of the Xiao family came to report that there was a guest. So early? Xiao Yuanshan was a little surprised. There were many people who came to the Xiao family to pay New Year's greetings, but it was only 8 o'clock. Who would come so early? According to the rules of the aristocratic families, they usually came around 10 o'clock. Yes, they came from Tianfang province. They said that they are the relatives of the old master. The disciple stammered. What the hell? Xiao Yuanshan's eyes widened. He felt like he didn't hear it clearly. Say it again, what is it? They said that they are the relatives of the old master, from Tianfang province. The disciple said carefully. In fact, this disciple was also very strange. He had been a servant of the Xiao family for many years, but he had never heard of such relatives in the Xiao family. Xiao Chen's face changed, and then he smiled bitterly. Grandpa, I know who it is. Do you remember Wang Fantian? Wang Fantian? Isn't that the kid who played well with you in junior high? You even brought him to our house as a guest. Xiao Yuanshan nodded to show that he remembered. It's their house. Xiao Chen said, it's a long story. Let's go out and have a look. As he spoke, Xiao Chen stood up. He was extremely depressed. This Wang family was really powerful. They came all the way to Songning. However, since they were here, Xiao Chen couldn't hide even if he wanted to. He thought that when he disappeared, the Wang family would give up. He didn't expect that they would still not give up and actually came after him. Xiao Yuanshan nodded. It turned out to be a guest, and he was a former friend of Xiao Chen. Naturally, he should receive him. Let's go to the living room. When they came to the living room, Xiao Chen saw an old man who was scolding angrily. What's wrong? I, Wang Tietio, came all the way to Songning. No matter what, I am the master of the real martial arts family. What's the meaning of leaving me here? What's the meaning of this? Xiao Chen just walked in. When he saw Wang Tietio, he was stunned. Is this the master of the Wang family? Even the master of the Wang family came in person. This gave him a headache. He originally wanted to make up a reason to reject this marriage. However, who would have thought that it would be difficult to reject this marriage now? After all, the master of the real martial arts family was here. He couldn't reject it directly. This must be the Wang family, master of the Outlander Wang family. I've heard a lot about you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Xiao Yuanshan quickly walked over and apologized. After all, they were the real martial arts family, and he was just an ordinary family. It wasn't good to let them wait. Don't say these useless things. Your grandson slept with my granddaughter. What do you think we should do about this? Don't talk nonsense. I don't like it. What do you mean I've heard a lot about you? What a fart. You definitely didn't know me before. Wang Tietio roared. Xiao Yuanshan was a little stunned and immediately felt awkward. He was just being polite. He didn't expect this guy to really refute it. Of course, these weren't the important points. Why did Xiao Chen sleep with Wang Tietio's granddaughter? He couldn't help but turn around to look at Xiao Chen. His eyes were filled with doubt and suspicion. Xiao Chen. What's going on? Grandpa Wang, I said before that this was a misunderstanding. Besides, isn't that Xiao Chang? How did you find me? Xiao Chen could only act shamelessly. Bullsh *T, Xiao Chang is you. Don't think that I don't know. Wang Tietio said angrily, Fan Tian, you tell me. That. Boss, hee, haha, hee. Wang Fantian looked at Xiao Chen and laughed foolishly. He didn't know what to say. Where's Lan Xinxin? Call her over. We'll compare and we'll know the truth. Xiao Chen was a little helpless. It seemed that Wang Fantian wouldn't speak up for him. This kid was obviously trying to smooth things over. Xin didn't come. Wang Fantian said weakly, "Boss, my grandpa is determined to win this time. Just agree, or else, he will stay here and not go back. He will go back when you agree. You know that he's also a reckless man. Our personalities are similar. When our stubbornness comes, then." Xiao Chen was speechless. This Wang family has such a good family background. It's not like they can't get married. Why do they have to rely on me? Isn't this too much? Stay here then. Anyway, we don't need people like you. Xiao Chen smiled bitterly. The Xiao family is small but big. You're welcome to stay here. Aya, you're still arguing with me, aren't you? Let me tell you, I've never been afraid of anyone. I'll stay here. I won't leave. Let's see if you agree or not. After Wang Tietio said that, he looked at Xiao Chen smugly and smiled smugly. He looked like he was going to piss Xiao Chen off to death. Just you wait. I'll spoil it for you when I see you with another woman. I'll make sure that my granddaughter is yours. Xiao Chen looked at Wang Tietio, who was even more shameless than him. He didn't know what to say. He was really shameless and invincible. Grandpa Wang, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Wang Tietio snorted. Aha, you old thing. How dare you threaten the boss? Do you believe that I won't scratch you to death? Yu Xiaochuan heard Wang Tietio's nonsense as soon as he walked in. He was instantly angered. Brother Xiao can be with whoever he wants. Why do you care? I'm with Brother Xiao every day. What can you do to me? Why don't you stir things up for me? Wang Tietio looked at Yu Xiaochuan up and down. Are you a man? Nonsense. Yu Xiaochuan snorted. Oh, then do whatever you want. Wang Tietio ignored him. I don't think you dare to control me. Yu Xiaochuan was extremely proud. Is this person crazy? Wang Tietio looked at Yu Xiaochuan and shook his head. He looked at Xiao Chen again. Xiao Chen, let me tell you. You'd better make a choice as soon as possible. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble. Grandpa Wang, let's talk openly. I have nothing to do with your granddaughter. Besides, I already have a fiancé. Xiao Chen smiled bitterly. Oh, I've already investigated. Don't think that I don't know that you and the Qing family have fallen out. You beat up the Qing family before. Do you still expect to be engaged to a woman from the Qing family? Stop dreaming. Wang Tietio waved his hand and said, Men, you can't find a wife even if you want to save face. My Xin is much better than her. Xiao Chen saw that he couldn't make sense of it, so he could only give up for the time being. He said resolutely, Grandpa Wang, me and Menjing are our matters. The Qing family is the Qing family's matter. You can't confuse them. Oh, if you have to say that, I don't care. At worst, I'll let Xin be your co-wife. This is a common thing in our Wulin family. It's not a big deal. Wang Tietio looked like he didn't believe him. He had to settle things. Chapter 688. That. Zhenwushan family Shen Jingxian is also my girlfriend. Xiao Chen said. Oh? Are you kidding me? Wang Tietio squinted at Xiao Chen. It's true. Xiao Chen nodded. Then, don't you care about Qing Menjing? Wang Tietio asked. I don't care. They are best friends. Xiao Chen said, I already have a second wife, so, 3 second wives. Well, it's decided then. Wang Tietio clapped his hands. In fact, he didn't believe it at all. He thought that Xiao Chen was making excuses. I say, Grandpa Wang, can we not joke around? I am really confused. With the status of the Wang family, why must they look for me? Xiaochen felt that Wang Tietio was really stubborn. Never mind that the Wang family was a Zhenwu family, even if it was an ordinary family, even if his granddaughter was a promiscuous woman, she would definitely be able to find a satisfactory family for marriage. There was no need to be so stubborn. Our Wang family values our reputation the most. You slept with my granddaughter. Now everyone knows it. You can't deny it. Wang Tietio said, is there any other problem? If not, both sides will proceed to the next step of the negotiation. Xiaochen found that he couldn't talk to such an unreasonable person at all. However, he couldn't use violence to send this person away. Not to mention Lan Xinxin's reputation, he couldn't do that from Wang Fontian's side. Xiaochen had a headache. Then, Grandpa Wang, you stay here first. Marriage is not a child's play. Let's take it slowly. That's right. Show your attitude so that we can continue the negotiation. Otherwise, I will doubt your sincerity. Wang Tietio was very satisfied and shouted to his son, Wang Benben, go and ask someone to bring the dowry in. Yes, father. Wang Benpai was also very helpless. Previously, he was still somewhat satisfied with Xiao Chen's identity as Yang Jiannan. After all, the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's headquarters was in Tianfang Province, and Yang Jiannan had a good future. As the son-in-law of the Wang family, he was considered a good match. But now, Xiaochen was just a child of a small family in a second-tier city, and this family was not that great. Even if Xiaochen was stronger, he had a lot of enemies, especially the real Yang Jiannan of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. The Wang family's actions were tantamount to finding trouble for themselves. He really didn't know what his father was thinking. However, Wang Benfen had no right to speak in front of Wang Tietio, so he could only gloomily agree. Otherwise, he would inevitably be scolded. Brother Xiao, your family is. Xia Shibin arrived early in the morning. He went to the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's Xia Zhili to get the pistol and rushed to the Xiao family in Songning. As soon as he entered the door, he saw people carrying big and small boxes inside. He didn't know what they were doing. Aren't you Xia Shibin from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau? Wang Benfen was directing the lifting of the boxes. He saw Xia Shibin at a glance and couldn't help but be stunned. Aren't you Yang Jiannan's follower? Why are you here? Xia Shibin was stunned. Only then did he see clearly that the person directing the lifting of the Xiao family's things was actually someone from the Wang family. Moreover, Wang Tietio was also in the living room. However, when he saw Wang Benfen, he understood. This guy had fought side by side with him, so he immediately nodded and said, we're all on the same side, right? I'm actually Brother Zhao's follower. However, Wang Tietio laughed out loud, looking like he knew Xiao Chen's secret. Xiao Chen, this person is your underling. Oh, yes, is there a problem? Xiao Chen asked faintly, exploding heavens knew about this a long time ago. They know each other. Looking at Xiao Chen's indifferent look, Wang Tietio was suddenly disappointed. I'm going to rest. Xiao Yuanshan stood at the side and couldn't interrupt. He hadn't figured out what was going on yet, so he didn't dare to speak. However, since Wang Tietio wanted to stay here, he naturally quickly ordered Xiao Hai to clean up the room and let the Wangs settle down first. Brother, did you do another one outside? Xiao stared at Xiao Chen and pinched the soft flesh on his waist. I didn't do that, it's a misunderstanding. Xiao Chen gritted his teeth in pain. Humph, Xiao said, you solve it yourself. Sigh. After these people left, Xiao Chen looked at Wang Benfen. Exploding heavens, you should at least inform me before coming. Your sudden attack has left me at a loss. I informed you through Weixin. Wang Benfen said innocently. Gosh, you don't know how to make phone calls. I haven't contacted Weixin for a long time. After listening, Xiao Chen knew that he couldn't blame Wang Benfen. He could only blame himself for not paying attention. To be honest, even if I informed you, there's nothing I can do. With my grandfather's temper, he'll still come. Sigh, he's even more impatient than I am. Wang Benfen laughed. But boss, what's wrong with my sister? Why didn't you agree? It's not that she's not good, it's that your grandfather is not good at making decisions for others. Xiao Chen said seriously, although Xin and I know each other, even if we have a good impression of each other, it can only be considered as a good impression, not love between a man and a woman. Xin may not agree to make decisions for her marriage so hastily. So, I think we should ask Xin about this matter. I think she should be against it too, my sister agrees very much. Wang Benfen interrupted abruptly. Huh? Xiao Chen was stunned. Lan Xinxin agreed too? How could that be? Xiao Chen felt that Lan Xinxin shouldn't be someone who had never seen the world. It was impossible for her to fall in love with every guy she saw. If that was the case, she would have already fallen in love with tens of thousands of guys. It wouldn't be Wang Tietio's turn to find him for an engagement. It can't be that Lan Xinxin has some problems, right? Xiao Chen was shocked. Otherwise, why would Wang Tietio want to have a marriage with a small Xiao family? It was impossible for him to know that he was a cultivator, and his strength wasn't that strong. At least, he wouldn't be noticed by a martial arts family like the Wang family. After all, the Wang family wasn't an ordinary martial arts family, but a branch of the Wang family. Boss, don't think too much. My sister fell in love with you at first sight on the plane. She said that you were a hero who saved the damsel in distress, so. Wang Benfen raised his eyebrows and gave Xiao Chen a knowing look. It was as wretched as it could get. Forget it. You won't understand it even if I explain it to you. I guess you won't be able to figure out the problem. Xiao Chen sighed. Wang Benfen wasn't a schemer. He probably didn't know the hidden purpose of the Wang family this time. What problem can there be? I know it very well. There is definitely no problem. Wang Benfen knew that his sister was afraid that Xiao Chen would be ruined by her, so she wanted to marry Xiao Chen. However, Wang Benfen couldn't say it out loud. Although he was a tiger, he also felt that Xiao Chen was a good partner. If he made things clear, Xiao Chen definitely wouldn't agree, so it was better not to say it out loud. I got it. Xiao Chen said noncommittally, let's not talk about this. Let's talk about other things. In Lan City, did the Kai family make any moves? Not really. The Kai family seems to have quietened down a lot. Wang Benfen shook his head. They suffered such a serious injury that time. I guess they won't be able to recover in a short time. Just as Xiao Chen and Wang Benfen were chatting, the Cheng family's side courtyard also welcomed many important guests. The so-called Cheng family's side courtyard was actually a newly built side courtyard in the suburbs of Songning City near the mountains. As the Cheng family was the head of the aristocratic families in Songning, it wasn't a big deal to build a side courtyard. In the past, Old Master Cheng would also stay here for a while during the summer. It was a good place to relax because of the beautiful scenery. Now, it was occupied by Cheng Xiaofan and was used to entertain the brothers of the Quishan sect. He had already fallen out with the Cheng family, so he didn't hide it anymore. He brought his people to live here openly. Although Cheng Tianqiu was annoyed, he couldn't do anything about it. At this moment, Cheng Tianqiu's face was full of worry. In front of him sat Cheng Zhongming and Cheng Menjing. He regretted listening to Cheng Xiaofan and dealing with the Xiao family. Now, he didn't expect that the mastermind behind it was actually his other son. Oh, no. That wasn't his son. When he thought of this, he felt very heartbroken. The two people he trusted the most were actually together. No wonder he felt that it was a little strange that the second madam got pregnant again. He hadn't touched the second madam for a long time, and she was pregnant again. However, calculating the dates, it was New Year's Day. He drank a lot and had a hangover one night. It was the second madam who took care of him. He couldn't remember what happened after he was drunk, but theoretically, he shouldn't have done anything. What else could he do when he was that drunk? However, after the incident, the second madam insisted that it was so. He didn't think much about it. Now that he thought about it, there were indeed many suspicious points. Xiaofan has nothing to do with me, but he's your half-brother. Zhongming, what do you think? Tianqiu asked. Father, even though he's my biological brother, the crimes he committed are already unforgivable. Zhongming had been dissatisfied with Xiaofan for a long time. Now that he heard that Xiaofan wasn't his father's biological son, he felt even less affection for him. In a big family, the paternal bloodline was much closer than the maternal bloodline. A paternal cousin was a relative, but a maternal cousin was basically not. Therefore, even though they shared the same mother, Zhongming didn't feel much affection for her. Moreover, this gave him a reason to break off relations with Xiaofan. I'm glad that you can say that. Our Qing family is irreconcilable with him. Tianqiu nodded. But now, I've pushed the Qing family into a dilemma. Even if I want to break off relations with Xiaofan, I was muddle-headed and agreed to the marriage between Menjing and his junior brother. If I go back on my word now, it's tantamount to completely harming the Qing family. But if I agree, it's tantamount to letting down the Xiao family. Grandpa. Actually, you don't have to think too much. Menjing saw her grandpa in distress and couldn't help but say. Since her grandpa had realized his mistake and was bewitched by second uncle, Menjing also forgave him for what he had done before. She comforted him. It's actually not hard to make a choice. Chapter 689. Oh. How should I choose? Tianqiu was slightly taken aback. He did not expect Menjing to take the initiative to speak. In previous family meetings, Menjing had never spoken a word or two. Right now, the Kuei Mountain sect is concerned about the battle with the Xiao family's Xiaochen. My matter is secondary. Menjing said, this way, if Xiaochen wins, then we won't be in a difficult position. We can just continue to repair our relationship with the Xiao family. If the Kuei Mountain sect wins, then we can only blame Menjing's fate. However, deep down, Menjing felt that Xiaochen would definitely not lose. From the time she met Xiaochen until now, Xiaochen had never disappointed her. The strength he displayed every time could be described as stunning. Menjing has a point. Tianqiu's expression changed slightly. He agreed with her and praised, we can cope with the changes by staying the same. We don't have to rush to make a decision. We just need to wait and see. Yeah. Zhongming smiled bitterly in his heart. No matter how powerful Xiaochen was, could he defeat the Kuei Mountain sect? He was afraid he could not. When the time came, the Qing family would still become the Kuei Mountain sect's vassal. Sigh. Big brother Xiaofan, little brother is going to let you down, but little brother has no other way. If I really enter the Kuei Mountain sect, I'll bear with it and investigate you in secret. If possible, I'll avenge you even if I have to die with you. That's the only thing I can do. In fact, Menjing had the same thought. Although she was confident in Xiaochen could not win. What if he was defeated? Menjing's plan was to pretend to agree to the marriage. At most, after entering the Kuei Mountain sect, she could kill that so-called young master and end it all. A life for a life wasn't a loss. Unlike the anxiety of the Qing family, Zhongfan was in high spirits, even though his face was full of injuries. Junior brother Yao, senior brother Nangong, senior brother Qian, nice to meet you. And these two are. Xiaofan squinted his eyes and greeted the 5 experts from the sects in front of him. This is my son, Yao Baoang, and this is Martial Uncle Tsong of our sect. He's also the senior sent by our sect to help my son propose marriage. Junior brother Yao introduced the other 2 to Xiaofan. Ah. It was Martial Uncle Tsong. I used to be in charge of the sect's outer sect affairs and rarely went to the inner sect. I hope Martial Uncle doesn't mind. Xiaofan hurriedly paid his respects. Well, it doesn't matter. You're also working for the sect. It's fine if you don't know me. Martial Uncle Tsong waved his hand. So this is junior brother Yao's son. The last time I saw him, he was still very young. Xiaofan smiled. Junior Yao Baoang greets Martial Uncle Cheng. Cheng Boan walked over and quickly saluted with his fists cupped. Well said. Let's eat first. Xiaofan smiled. In his opinion, food was the biggest temptation for these brothers and martial uncles. Junior brother Yao was about to nod. The last time he came, he had eaten his fill. This time, he had been thinking about it. However, he also wanted to see Martial Uncle Tsong's opinion, so he quickly asked, Martial Uncle Tsong, what do you think? What's there to eat? Xiao Niu has been killed, and you still have the mood to eat? Why aren't you going to kill Xiao Chen and take revenge for him? Martial Uncle Tsong snorted coldly and shouted. Yes. Everyone was startled and quickly agreed. Martial Uncle Tsong, shouldn't we take our time to think about it? That Xiao Chen has some tricks up his sleeve. In order to welcome the guests from the sect, Xiaofan did not eat in the morning. He was busy preparing. Now that he did not eat anything, it was really unbearable. Tricks up his sleeve. What kind of tricks? Martial Uncle Tsong frowned and snorted. According to what you said, he barely killed senior brother Niu. That's only about the level of a devil master. At most, he's at the level of a devil general. Do we need to think about it? This. Xiaofan did not know what to say. In his opinion, Xiao Chen was definitely not at the level of a devil general. In the face of absolute power, all schemes are empty talk. Martial Uncle Tsong said, Nangong, Xiao Qian, the 2 of you go and kill Xiao Chen. Then, I will bring Xiao Yao and his son to the Cheng family to propose marriage. Xiaofan, lead the way. As an elder of the sect, I will go and present the betrothal gifts. Yes, Martial Uncle. Both of us will go. I still want to watch the show. Nangong and Xiao Qian looked at each other with disdain. One of them was a level 2 devil general, the other was a level 2 pinnacle devil general. Wouldn't it be a piece of cake for them to defeat Xiao Chen? Even if Xiao Chen was at most a demonic general of the first layer, wouldn't it be a waste of talent to send 2 people? Didn't you hear what I said just now? Are you deaf? Absolute power? What is absolute power? If one of you goes, I'm afraid that if that brat Xiao Chen is up to no good and injures you, it won't be worth it. Martial Uncle Tsong glared at the 2 of them coldly. Go. Make it quick. Who knows, we might not have completed the proposal yet. Yes. The 2 of them quickly nodded. Meng Chong, go and lead the team for your 2 martial uncles. They don't know where Xiao Chen's house is. Xiaofan turned to Cheng Mengxiang and instructed. But when you go, just wait in the car far away. Don't go near. Don't disturb your 2 martial uncles. Do you understand? I understand. Cheng Mengxiang wasn't stupid. How could he not understand the meaning behind his father's words? Cheng Mengxiang did not have much strength at all. If Xiao Chen could not deal with these 2 martial uncles, he might be driven to desperate measures and attack Cheng Mengxiang before he died. Cheng Mengxiang would not be able to dodge then, and he would be in trouble. Alright, let's go now. Martial Uncle Song waved his hand. Immediately, these people split into two groups and went to the Xiao family and the Cheng family. Cheng Mengxiang drove his car and carried the two martial uncles to the Xiao family in high spirits. In Cheng Mengxiang's opinion, Xiao Chen was completely dead this time. No matter how strong he was, he wouldn't be able to withstand the attack of two devil generals. This secular world is really good. Nangong looked at the bustling scene outside the car window. It made him yearn for it. It's really good for you to live here. What's that hamburger? It looks delicious. Also, why are the women sitting at the entrance of the bath center wearing such revealing clothes? It's winter, don't they feel cold? That hamburger is quite delicious. After we kill Xiao Chen, I'll bring the two martial uncles to eat to our heart's content. As for those women, hee, they're prostitutes, they're bitches. We can spend money on them. After we finish eating, I'll bring the two martial uncles along. Hee. Cheng Mengxiang said wretchedly. However, in his heart, he felt a little disdain. That fast food is only eaten when there's no food to eat. I'm already sick of it. As for the prostitutes in the bath center, I can't even be bothered to look at them. Only people like you, who have never seen meat in the mountains, can look at them. Oh, okay. Although it's not good to let you spend money, it's still a token of appreciation from a junior like you. Nangong nodded. Xiao Qian's face was also full of desire. He looked outside and thought about his boring life in the Quishan sect. That's for sure. These are all gifts from Meng Chong to the two martial uncles. Cheng Mengxiang paused for a moment before saying, later, can the two martial uncles show mercy? That's impossible. Before Cheng Mengxiang could finish, he was interrupted by Nangong. Don't try to bribe me with these things. So, you want to plead for Xiao Chen? Absolutely not. No, martial uncle Nangong, you've misunderstood me. Cheng Mengxiang was shocked and quickly said, what I mean is, don't beat Xiao Chen to death in one go. Show mercy. Beat him a few more times. It's best if you torture him to death. I hate him to death. Why would I plead for him? Why didn't you say so earlier? Of course, there's no problem. Nangong heaved a sigh of relief. Wouldn't it be easy for him to torture Xiao Chen? He didn't mind doing Cheng Mengxiang a favor. When the time came, this kid would treat him willingly. Martial uncle Nangong has misunderstood. Cheng Mengxiang laughed. The car stopped at the entrance of the Xiao family's villa. Cheng Mengxiang had been here many times to send Xiao home. He cursed in his heart. Bitch, how dare you ignore me? I'll snatch you back after I kill your brother. This is the place. Nangong got out of the car and looked at the Xiao family's villa. He was a little disappointed. It's not as imposing as the Cheng family's villa. What kind of expert can come from such a broken place? It's strange that senior brother Niu died in a place like this. Senior brother Niu was also Nangong's senior brother. The seniority of the Quishan sect's disciples was determined by who entered the sect first. Therefore, it wasn't strange for a junior brother to be stronger than a senior brother. Every sect's disciples were ranked differently. Some were ranked according to the order of entry like the Quishan sect, some were ranked according to their age, and some were ranked according to their strength. That's right, this is the Xiao family. Cheng Mengxiang nodded. Martial uncle, look, there are the words Xiao family here. It's just a little tattered, humph. Xiao Qian sneered. He kicked the door of the Xiao family's villa, sending the Xiao family's two iron doors flying and crashing to the ground. Who are you? The disciple on duty near the door was shocked. He stammered, You're Cheng Mengxiang. That's right. Call Xiao Chen out, or we'll tear down the Xiao family and raze it to the ground. Cheng Mengxiang pointed at the disciple and threatened. Ah! The disciple didn't dare to be negligent. He ran to the living room and shouted, "Not good, young Master Xiao, someone came to our house to make trouble. Please go and take a look." "'Cause trouble?" Xiao Chen was talking to Wang Fantian when he heard the disciple's report. He was stunned. "Who's here to cause trouble?" "Cheng Mengxiang from the Cheng family brought him here." "I don't know him." The disciple replied carefully. "Cheng Mengxiang?" Xiao Chen immediately understood that it was the Quishan sect. He didn't expect them to arrive so quickly. How many people? Chapter 690. A total of 3. The disciple said. Xiao Chen nodded and took a deep breath. He didn't know the strength of the 2 people brought by Cheng Xiaofan, but he still said to Wang Explosion, "Let's go out and fight." "Do you dare? Then why don't you hurry up?" "But boss, you don't have any good weapons in your house." Wang Explosion suddenly got up and looked around, but he didn't find anything useful. Seeing that Xiao Chen had rushed out, Wang Explosion could only follow closely. The 2 people outside the door didn't hide their aura at all. Demon General 2nd level, Demon General 2nd level peak. Xiao Chen didn't expect the Kuei Mountain faction to actually send 2 experts to deal with him. They really think highly of me. However, Xiao Chen was already at his limit. Even if it was a Demon Master 10th level peak, it was still possible to deal with him. But facing a Demon General, Xiao Chen really didn't know how to deal with it. Moreover, there were 2 of them. "I'm Xiao Chen. I don't know why the 2 of you are looking for me." Xiao Chen looked at the 2 people at the door coldly. At this time, Cheng Mengxiang was very smart to hide in a car in the distance. He didn't want to be used as a scapegoat before Xiao Chen died. "You are Xiao Chen?" Nangong looked at Xiao Chen from head to toe and didn't see anything special. "Did you kill senior brother Niu?" "No." Xiao Chen said. "No?" Nangong was suddenly stunned. "Then how did he die?" "He came here to seek death," Xiao Chen said in all seriousness. "Are you playing with me?" Nangong was suddenly angry. He originally saw that Xiao Chen didn't have much strength, and he also suspected the cause of senior brother Niu's death. When Xiao Chen denied it, he really thought, could it be that senior brother Niu died because of other reasons? However, he didn't expect Xiao Chen's next sentence to be a joke. He flew into a rage and threw a punch at Xiao Chen's face, forgetting that he would show no mercy. Xiao Chen's heart trembled as he countered with a palm. It was the dark flame palm. However, with Xiao Chen's current strength, this move was still too weak. No matter how Xiao Chen performed, there would only be one result. Xiao Chen was sent flying backwards, spitting out a mouthful of blood. He landed heavily on the wall of the Xiao family courtyard, smashing a large hole in the wall. So strong. Xiao Chen only wanted to test the strength of the Demon General. This was only a 2nd-layer Demon General, and it was already like this. With just a single move, it had beaten him to the point where he couldn't even fight back. There was still a 2nd-layer Demon General at the side. If Xiao Chen was not a cultivator, he would have been killed by this punch. Xiao Chen would not have been able to kill him. Dead? Nangong looked at Xiao Chen, who was sent flying and was suddenly stunned. I forgot. Sorry, little Cheng, I directly killed him. That's it? Xiao Qian was also a little speechless. When he used that move just now, I saw that he was only a 2nd-layer Demon Master. How could he kill senior brother Niu like that? That's not possible, right? Boom! Just as the 2 of them were puzzled and were about to turn around and walk back to Cheng Mengxiang's car, they suddenly felt that the sky above their heads was blocked. Then, there was a loud sound, and their heads buzzed at the same time. Ah! Nangong and Xiao Qian both let out a blood-curdling scream. They saw a big iron door directly cut into their bodies. It was Wang Exploding Sky who used the iron door that Nangong kicked away as a weapon. The iron door was directly stuck in front of their chests, just like the splints worn by prisoners in the past. They couldn't move at all. The two of them were not much better off. Their heads were full of blood, just like a bloody gourd. The two of them were not prepared at all and were cut by this big iron door. And this iron door was at least 2 tons heavy. Even if the two of them were military generals, at this moment, they were smashed until the sky and earth were spinning and they were somewhat dazed. If it was an ordinary person, they would have been smashed into meat paste. Although Nangong could send the metal door flying with a kick, he had to use his skillful strength. He might not even be able to lift the metal door, let alone hit the head. "Brother Xiao, I'm coming." Xiaofan held 2 pistols in his hands and didn't say much. He opened fire at the 2 generals, one on the left and one on the right. "Watch me," the double-gun old woman Xiaofan. Nangong and Xiao Qian were dizzy and disoriented. Each of them had been shot several times. Although they had devil chi protecting their bodies, they were still badly beaten. Among them, Nangong had a bullet stuck in his heart. If it wasn't for his alertness, he would have been easily shot to death. Xiao Qian wasn't much better. A bullet hit the middle of his head, but it was stuck in his skull and didn't penetrate. "Damn, these 2 people are so fierce. My guns can't penetrate them." After Xiaofan finished firing, he threw away the magazines and the 2 pistols and was stunned. At this time, Xiao Qian had already finished healing his injuries. He didn't think that his 2 subordinates would really dare to play tricks. They didn't play by the rules at all. One of them used the iron door to smash fiercely, while the other used the gun to shoot randomly. These 2 martial general level experts were beaten to the point where they couldn't fight back at all. Xiaofan, again. On the other side, Wang Exploding Sky came again. He ran over with another iron door in his hand. As he spoke, he slapped at Nangong and Xiao Qian. Nangong and Xiao Qian were both shocked. The 2 of them subconsciously wanted to escape, but the iron door was stuck in their bodies. At this time, the 2 of them wanted to escape in different directions. As a result, they were directly restrained. No one could escape. Wang Exploding Sky's side was already coming. Boom, another iron door directly covered Nangong and Xiao Qian's heads. The combined weight of 4 tons directly pressed the 2 of them to their knees. On Xiaofan's side, he had also finished changing his magazine. He directly took over Wang Exploding Sky's position and suddenly fired at the 2 of them. "Little Ming, burn them to death." Although Xiao Qian had finished healing, he knew that he was no match for the 2 devil generals. He directly commanded the netherworld fire to rush forward. As a result, Nangong and Xiao Qian caught fire with a whoosh. Nangong and Xiao Qian really wanted to cry but had no tears. The 2 of them knew that today would not end well. They were too careless. Originally, if Xiaofan was the only one shooting at the side, the 2 of them could grit their teeth and make the bullets clip between their muscles and bones, not hitting the vital parts. However, the sudden flames directly disrupted their plan. Should they block the bullets or the netherworld fire? They could only choose one of the 2. As a result, Nangong was unfortunately shot in the head. Xiao Qian had just blocked 2 bullets and was burned to a crisp. Before the 2 of them died, they stared at the people present with dissatisfaction and indignation, especially Wang Exploding Sky. They did not know where this freak came from. If he had not put the iron door on them, they would have run away even if they were not a match. However, with this thing on them, they could not run away even if they wanted to. They could only passively take the beating. Their deaths were too aggrieved. These were probably the 2 devil generals who died the most unjustly in the martial arts world. The dignified devil generals were actually killed just like that. When Cheng Mengxiang saw the two pieces of trash being beaten up by a group of people, he knew that there was no hope. He started the car and ran away. Xiao Chen did not chase after him. Someone had to go back and inform him. He hoped that the Kuei Mountain faction would retreat in the face of difficulties. In fact, this result made even Xiao Chen a little speechless. To be able to kill a devil general like that, what kind of trap was this? Who dares to touch Brother Xiao? I will scratch him to death. Suddenly, a person ran out from the Xiao family compound with shampoo in his hair. Xiao Chen took a closer look. It was actually Yu Xiaochuan. This guy was probably taking a shower just now. When he heard the news that he was in trouble, he rushed out immediately with only a bathrobe on his body. Xiaochuan, the person who came is already dead. You go back and take a shower. Although Xiao Chen was a little speechless, his heart was very warm. It seemed that Yu Xiaochuan really cared about him, but why? Yu Xiaochuan's submission was a little strange. Xiao Chen's underlings, Xia Shibin, Wang Exploding Sky, and even Taoist Lu Li, could be understood. Even Lu Zhenming had his reasons. Only Yu Xiaochuan did not need to submit at all. However, this guy was more loyal than anyone else. Ah, he's already dead? Yu Xiaochuan looked and suddenly blushed. I'm wearing too little. I'll go back first. After that, Yu Xiaochuan ran back. Bro, who is this guy who is neither a man nor a woman? Wang Exploding Sky looked at Yu Xiaochuan with a puzzled face. Why is he still living in your house? Don't tell me you're into men, right? Don't talk nonsense. Xiao Chen shook his head. You may be very strange in the eyes of others. That big iron door that weighed a few tons was lifted directly. If it were someone else, they would have been scared to death. Hee, okay. Wang Exploding Sky walked over and pulled the big iron door down. He kicked the two corpses aside and said, this door is quite handy. Put it aside first. I'll continue to use it next time. Xiao Chen, are you okay? Xiao Yuanshan and others also came over at this time. They looked at Wang Exploding Sky with eyes full of shock. Xia Shibin was fine. He had already seen Wang Exploding Sky's martial arts before. However, the other people in the Xiao family were completely shocked. What kind of martial arts is this? Everyone knew that martial artists trained their body, martial masters trained their strength, and martial generals trained their qi. However, even martial generals couldn't have this kind of power. 10 times the strength was almost the limit. However, the internal force of a martial master could be extended endlessly, and the internal force of a martial general could trigger some explosive moves. However, they had never heard of anyone who could lift a 4-ton iron door with one hand and walk like it was nothing. Wang Exploding Sky placed the two iron doors side by side on the edge of the courtyard wall. He clapped his hands and returned to Xiao Chen's side. Xiao Chen, your friend is not simple. Xiao Yuanshan looked at Wang Exploding Sky and his heart flashed with a touch of surprise. In the past, the reason why Wang Exploding Sky was close to Xiao Chen and was even brought to the house by Xiao Chen as a guest was definitely at the level of an aristocratic family. Wang Exploding Sky also couldn't cultivate internal force. Xiao Yuanshan knew this. However, who would have thought that after a few years, he was actually such a powerful expert? Chapter 691. But on second thought, Xiao Chen couldn't cultivate in the past, and now he was so powerful that he almost couldn't recognize him. Damn, both of them are demon generals. A voice was heard. It was Wang Tietio. Although the person was dead, a master could tell the level of the deceased's strength from the corpse. Of course, they must have died not long ago. After a long time, they wouldn't be able to survive. Your Xiao family has a lot of enemies. There are even demon generals. Yes, Grandpa Wang, our Xiao family has too many enemies. So in order to avoid implicating the Wang family, I think we should forget about this marriage. Xiao Chen said quickly. Yes, so you need the protection of our Wang family. You see, Bang Tian is here, so you can escape today. What if Bang Tian isn't here? Maybe your Xiao family is finished. Wang Tietio nodded in agreement. Although Wang Tietio's words weren't pleasant to hear, Xiao Chen had to admit that it was the truth. Today's battle was completely a fluke. The two demon generals were caught off guard and couldn't move. That was how Wang Tietio succeeded. Otherwise, even if Xia Shibin had a spear, even if he had the fire of the underworld, wouldn't they dodge? Wouldn't they take the opportunity to attack? It wouldn't be as easy as now, one-sidedly tortured to death. Grandpa Wang, what level of strength are you? Xiao Chen found that Wang Tietio didn't put the demon generals in his eyes. He was a little surprised, but he also wanted to change the topic. Oh, I'm just a demon master at the peak of the 10th level. Wang Tietio said faintly, but I have seen a lot of demon generals. I won't put two demon generals at the 2nd level in my eyes. Xiao Chen was shocked. Sure enough, the Wang family of the martial arts world had some strength. Wang Tietio said that he didn't put the demon generals at the 2nd level in his eyes. In other words, he had seen more than one demon general of a higher level. There were so many masters in the martial arts world. But why didn't I see them in the Hakonamata desert? However, when he thought about it carefully, the mission level of the Hakonamata desert was not attractive to demon generals at all. On the Xiao family's side, everything went back to normal. Xiao Hai, on the other hand, contacted people to reinstall the gate and repair the wall. On Cheng Mengxiang's side, he drove back to the Cheng family crazily. It was too amazing. Two devil generals were actually killed by Xiao Chen's men in such a despicable way. Cheng Mengxiang thought, fortunately, I was smart enough to hide in the car before the fight started and escape in time. Otherwise, I would also be left there. At the same time, in the living room of the Cheng family, Martial Uncle Tsong sat proudly in the main seat of the Cheng family's living room. He looked at the Cheng family members opposite him and said calmly, I'm here to represent the Quishan sect to propose to the Cheng family and then bring the Cheng family to the Quishan sect. This. Cheng Tianqiu really didn't expect that these people would directly propose marriage. Shouldn't they be looking for trouble with Xiao Chen first? Now that things had turned out this way, how should he choose? He could only bite the bullet and say, the Cheng family previously had an engagement with the Xiao family. Elder Tsong, what do you think, old thing, are you messing with me? When I first came, we agreed on an engagement with my family's Baoang. Why is there a Xiao family now? Are you making fun of me? Little Yao immediately got angry. I've already brought Baoang here, and you're telling me this? Little Yao, what right do you have to speak here? Cheng Xiaofan pulled him and said, let Martial Uncle Tsong decide everything. Yes. Little Yao was a hot-tempered person. He also realized that he had overstepped his boundaries and quickly stepped back. It's fine. Martial Uncle Tsong waved his hand and said calmly, the Xiao family will soon cease to exist. Cheng Tianqiu, think carefully. I've already sent people to annihilate the Xiao family. A second-layer devil general and a peak second-layer devil general. The Xiao family will definitely not be spared. Ah! Cheng Menjiang, who hadn't spoken all along, suddenly exclaimed at this time. Although she was confident that Xiao Chen would definitely be able to avert danger, there was also a limit to that. If a devil general went to find trouble, Cheng Menjiang felt that Xiao Chen would definitely have a way to deal with it. But with two devil generals, what else could he do? Thinking of this, her heart was about to break. She wanted to quickly run to the Xiao family to take a look, but under the watchful eyes of everyone, she couldn't leave. For a moment, she was burning with anxiety. Xiao Chen, you mustn't have anything happen to you. This lady is still waiting for you to serve this lady for a lifetime. If this lady doesn't let you die, you can't die. Miss Cheng, This humble one heard that Xiao Chen is unbearably naughty and a hedonistic son of a rich family. He has affairs with many women. This kind of trash is really not worthy of Miss Cheng. From the moment Yao Baoang entered the Cheng family's door, his eyes were fixed on Cheng Menjing. At this time, when he heard Cheng Menjing's exclamation, he hurriedly went up to speak. I heard that Miss Cheng was previously dissatisfied with Xiao Chen and even insulted him as a servant. It's only because of the relationship between the two families. Cheng Menjing turned her head away as if she didn't hear a word. A trace of anger flashed in Yao Baoang's eyes. He had been favored by the heavens since he was young. Even in the Kuei Mountain sect, he was also a well-known figure among the younger generation. At such a young age, he was already at the peak of the 10th layer Devil Master level. He was only one step away from becoming a Devil General. Such a young genius would definitely be valued in the sect. Previously, when he was asked to marry a woman from the secular world, he wasn't very willing. However, he actually understood his father's intentions. Although his father, Little Yao, was also a Devil General, he wasn't very outstanding. He couldn't be compared to those elders at all. Yao Baoang was a genius among the younger generation of the sect, but because of his background, he wasn't nurtured as the core of the sect. As for the other sect masters, deputy sect masters, and the descendants of the elders, they didn't pay much attention to Yao Baoang. They felt that with his background, he wouldn't be able to cause much trouble, so they wouldn't deliberately suppress him. As for Yao Baoang, he had always been aloof from worldly affairs. Therefore, at this time, once he married a woman with a background, he would be feared by the other younger generation with a background. When that time came, they would unite to suppress him, which was not something that Yao Baoang could bear. Now that Yao Baoang was marrying a woman from the secular world, it showed his position. He wouldn't participate in the competition among the younger generation of the sect. This was also a means of self-protection. In fact, this was just a trick of Little Yao to temporarily confuse everyone. When his strength grew in secret, he would inevitably participate in the competition of the sect. At that time, he could completely turn Cheng Menjing into a concubine and marry another one. This was the plan of Little Yao and his son. In front of outsiders, Little Yao was a hot-tempered man, while Yao Baoang was a lecherous playboy with some strength. There was now a rumor in the sect that Yao Baoang couldn't wait after seeing the photo of Cheng Menjing that his father brought back. He even took out the photo every night to masturbate. However, this was just a rumor deliberately spread by Little Yao and his son. In fact, before this, Yao Baoang didn't even know what Cheng Menjing looked like. However, when Yao Baoang saw Cheng Menjing's stunning face, he immediately abandoned the idea of finding a random woman from the secular world to deal with the sect. Such a beautiful woman was rare even in the martial arts world. He was determined to get her. You did something to the Xiao family? And 2 devil generals went there? Cheng Tianqiu felt the world spinning. He didn't expect the Quishan sect to be so vicious and send out 2 devil generals. It would be strange if the Xiao family was not flattened. Of course. I heard that old Master Cheng always wanted to kill the Xiao family. Now, in-law, I have fulfilled this wish for you. You don't have to thank me. This was Little Yao's personality in front of outsiders. In fact, it was just a clever plan. Cheng Tianqiu was furious. Previously, he wanted to deal with the Xiao family, but he was completely deceived by Cheng Zhongfan. He thought that the Xiao family was the culprit behind Cheng Zhongqian's death. He didn't know that these things were actually caused by Cheng Zhongfan and the Quishan sect. Now, the innocent Xiao family was killed by him, and he had to compromise with the Quishan sect through marriage. I believe your sect is very clear about what is going on, so it's better to think about it at length. After a while, Cheng Tianqiu waved his hand helplessly and sighed. I'm tired, Cheng Tianqiu, we'll talk about it here if we give you face. If we don't give you face, what do you think the Cheng family is? You're the one who agreed to the marriage, and you've already signed it. Even if you bring this matter to the Martial Arts Guild, we'll still be in the right. If you don't agree, we'll take her away directly. Martial Uncle Tsong obviously didn't expect Cheng Tianqiu to be so untactful. He was instantly furious. He pointed at Cheng Menjing and said, "Yao Baoang, take your wife back to the sect now." "Yes, he. Yao Baoang had a lewd look on his face. It was hard to tell if it was real or just an act. He walked toward Cheng Menjing. Cheng Menjing backed away in disgust and fear. She secretly prayed in her heart, "Xiao Chen, where are you? Oh no! Oh no!" At this moment, a person rushed into the living room of the Cheng family. He was crawling on all fours, and his face was full of fear. "Meng Chang? What's wrong with you?" Cheng Xiaofan recognized his son at a glance and was immediately shocked. "Could it be that you're scared after seeing the bloody means of killing two senior brothers?" Children are like this when they see blood for the first time." Xiao Yao laughed and didn't care. "By the way, where are senior brother Nangong and senior brother Qian?" "Dead. They're all dead." Cheng Mengxiang panted heavily. In his opinion, he had escaped from death. If he was any slower, he would have been detained by Xiao Chen. "Dead?" Cheng Zhongfan and Xiao Yao were stunned. "Stop joking. Where are they?" "They were killed by Xiao Chen and his men." Cheng Mengxiang cried. "They're really dead." Chapter 692. What? Martial Uncle Tsong's expression changed. He glared at Cheng Mengxiang and asked, "Is what you said true?" "It's true, it's all true." Cheng Mengxiang nodded repeatedly, his face full of fear. He was really scared out of his wits. He gritted his teeth and ran back with all his might. The moment he entered the door, he collapsed to the ground. "What happened? Tell me in detail." Martial Uncle Tsong's expression turned ugly. He didn't think that Cheng Mengxiang was lying anymore. Judging from his frightened expression, something must have really happened. "It's like this." Cheng Mengxiang didn't dare to hide anything. He told him everything that happened at the Xiao family's doorstep, including how Xiao Chen didn't have much strength and used some tricks to kill his two uncle masters. "Xiao Chen, I'm going to tear you into pieces." Martial Uncle Tsong was completely enraged after hearing this. If Xiao Chen had killed his two martial nephews with his real strength, he might not have been so angry. However, Xiao Chen actually used a trick. They were two devil generals. No matter how big the Kuei Mountain sect was, they couldn't afford to waste them like this. "Little Yao, you and I will annihilate the entire Xiao family." "Yes." Little Yao Zi shouted with righteous indignation. However, he was secretly groaning in his heart. That Xiao Chen seemed to be very strange. What flame martial technique? What pistol? And there was even a person who could lift up a large metal door. Where did all these people come from? He didn't want to die. Even if he didn't die, he would suffer from injuries. He rolled his eyes and said, "Martial Uncle Tsong, we are currently discussing the marriage with the Cheng family. As Yao Boang's father, I can't just leave like this, right? It's a little rude. They're already dead. Why aren't you going? We'll talk about other things when we get back." Martial Uncle Tsong ordered with a wave of his hand. Yes. Little Yao Zi had no choice but to bite the bullet and follow his martial uncle. Fortunately, this martial Uncle Tsong was highly skilled in martial arts and was a fifth-layer demon general. It would be easy for him to deal with Xiao Chen, and he might not even need to do anything himself. At this moment, the Cheng family was shocked. Cheng Tianqiu looked at the unexpected scene. He didn't expect Xiao Chen to be able to kill the two devil generals. Although he used some tricks, they were still killed. Tricks were also a form of strength. How could Cheng Tianqiu not know that? Cheng Zhongming was a little gratified, but also a little worried. Although Xiaofan was gone, his son was so outstanding. It was really a comfort. But Martial Uncle Tsong personally led the team to find trouble with the Xiao family. Could Xiao Chen still be safe this time? Miss Cheng's heart was fluctuating with Xiao Chen. Although she knew that Xiao Chen was safe, she was also worried that he wasn't a match for Martial Uncle Kong. But even if she wanted to help, she couldn't. At this moment, Yao Baoang had completely lost the mood to tease Cheng Menjing. The sudden change made him frightened. What kind of enemy was this Xiao Chen? He was different from Martial Uncle Kong. Martial Uncle Tsong thought that Xiao Chen only used tricks to kill Martial Uncle Niu, Martial Uncle Nangong, and Martial Uncle Qian. It was just luck. But how could a person's luck be so good? Besides, even if he used tricks, he could do it once. Couldn't he do it a second time? It seemed that it was a mistake to come to the secular world to take revenge on the Xiao family. He shouldn't have listened to Cheng Zhongfan's instigation and participated in it at all. However, he didn't have the authority to say anything. But he was secretly vigilant and regarded Xiao Chen as his #1 opponent. The Xiao family. A Wrangler convertible jeep rushed over in the cold weather. It was Old Master Jean and Jean Beibei. The news that the Xiao family was attacked by generals at the gate of the Xiao family was also spread to the Jean family. Gold Fur Lion King immediately came to help. But when he arrived, he found that the gate was quiet. Is the fight over? Gold Fur Lion King was somewhat puzzled. Looking at the broken gate, his heart sank. Could it be that, hey, what are you doing? Jean Beibei suddenly saw a person, who seemed to be a disciple of the Xiao family, measuring something behind the wall. Huh? Are you talking to me? The disciple was dazed and turned around. He was not a guard, so he didn't know Jean Beibei and Gold Fur Lion King. You are here to install the gate, aren't you? It's the new year. You must be tired. Let's get back to work. What? Jean Beibei was dazed. Install what gate? Weren't you invited by young Master Xiao Hai to install a new gate for the Xiao family? The disciple found it odd, too. Then, what are you here for? Nothing happened to the Xiao family? Jean Beibei bulged her eyes. What do you mean nothing? Can you not say such discouraging words during the new year? You look quite nice. Why are you talking like that? The disciple was somewhat angry. What do you want exactly? I'm looking for my cousin-in-law. Jean Beibei said. Is he here? Your cousin-in-law? The disciple didn't understand. I am Xiao Chen's sister-in-law. Do you understand me? Jean Beibei said angrily. Xiao Chen. You are Xiao Chen's sister-in-law. Please come in. How should I address you? I'll go and report. Although the disciple's attitude had changed, he didn't believe her completely. My name is Jean Beibei. You don't have to report me. After saying that, Jean Beibei got into the car again and drove into the Xiao family's courtyard with Gold Fur Lion King. She is Jean Beibei. The disciple immediately came to himself. He hurried to take out his walkie-talkie and shouted, reporting to young master, Jean Beibei is here. Xiao Hai was also dazed. Many people from the Xiao family had come today, but he didn't dare to be negligent. He hurried to inform Xiao Yuanshan and Xiao Chen. However, when they had just come out to welcome them, the disciple at the gate sent another message. Two people rushed in aggressively and didn't say anything. Before he could stop them, the two people disappeared. Xiao Hai was immediately stunned. Then, he saw two more people coming from behind Gold Fur Lion King and Jean Beibei's car. They were walking so fast that they almost caught up to the car. Who is Xiao Chen? Quickly come out and accept your death. The person who came was Martial Uncle Kong. His purpose in coming here was to kill Xiao Chen. It seems I've come in time. Gold Fur Lion King laughed and got out of the car. He had thought the news he had received was fake. Who are you? Master Tsong was stunned. He didn't expect Xiao Chen to have a helper. Judging from the general's aura on him, although he was only a level 1 general, Master Tsong had to pay attention to him. No matter how powerful Xiao Chen was, he was just a martial arts master who was good at tricks. It meant that he didn't have any martial arts background. So, it didn't matter if he was killed. However, Gold Fur Lion King was different. He was a general. According to the original covenant, generals were not allowed to stay in the secular world for a long time, unless this person was from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Thinking of this, Master Tsong suddenly remembered that Xiao Chen had a pistol. Moreover, it was an extremely rare pistol that could shoot armor-piercing bullets. This kind of gun was not easy to buy even on the black market. Moreover, Xiao Chen dared to use it so openly. Could it be that he had the support of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau? This made him hesitate. To be honest, he wasn't afraid of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. However, he didn't dare to make enemies for no reason. After all, the Supernatural Investigation Bureau had powerful armed forces. Even if they couldn't destroy the Kuei Mountain faction, they could cripple it if they were desperate. Of course, I'm here to help. Gold Fur Lion King laughed. Are you from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau? Master Tsong asked in a low voice. It doesn't matter if I tell you. I'm Gold Fur Lion King, a disciple of the Heavenly Spring faction. Gold Fur Lion King told him the name of his sect. After this battle, he would return to his sect. Heavenly Spring faction? Master Tsong frowned. Although the Heavenly Spring faction was considered one of the more famous sects in the outer martial arts world, compared to the Supernatural Investigation Bureau, Master Tsong had nothing to fear. The righteous and demonic sects had been fighting non-stop. The Kuei Mountain faction and the Heavenly Spring faction had also fought before. Therefore, there was no need to be afraid of making enemies. That's right. Since you're from the Kuei Mountain faction, you should understand why I'm here. Gold Fur Lion King smiled coldly. Very good. Aren't you just meddling in other people's business? Master Tsong made up his mind. He instructed Little Yao, go get rid of this old thing. As for Xiao Chen, I want to kill him myself. Little Yao was depressed. He was only a first-layer demonic general. Although he was slightly stronger than a first-layer general, there was a limit to how much stronger he could be. Could he get rid of the Heavenly Spring faction? Wasn't that a joke? Even if he could, he would have to pay a huge price. If he didn't do it well, it would be a suicidal move. He wanted to say that he would deal with Xiao Chen, and that he should deal with Gold Fur Lion King. However, he didn't dare to say it. Old thing, take this. Little Yao had no choice but to bite the bullet. He only hoped to end the battle quickly. He sent a flying kick at Gold Fur Lion King. However, Gold Fur Lion King didn't panic. He was calm and composed. He pushed out his palms and met the kick. Xiao Chen, on the other hand, was a little hesitant. At this time, Uncle Tsong had already unleashed his strength as a fifth-layer demon master. Xiao Chen was definitely not his match. Even if Xia Shibin and Wang Fangtian joined forces, they still wouldn't be able to fight him. The gap between the 5 levels was too big. Master Tsong was about to attack when he suddenly felt a chill in his heart. He quickly turned around and saw a kid holding 2 metal doors in his hands. The kid was like a rock spreading its wings. In the blink of an eye, the door was about to hit him. Humph, insignificant tricks. Master Tsong saw Wang Fangtian and knew that he was the culprit behind Nangong and Xiao Qian's deaths. If he hadn't fixed the metal doors on the 2 of them, they wouldn't have been killed by a sneak attack. Therefore, he didn't show any mercy. With a wave of his right hand, Wang Fangtian's body flew out. The two metal doors also fell to the ground, making two loud thuds. Although Wang Fangtian was extremely strong, he was no match for Master Tsong, who was a fifth-layer demonic master. Master Tsong only needed to use a demonic technique to beat Wang Fangtian until he vomited blood. The reason why he could successfully ambush Nangong and Xiao Qian was that they had underestimated him. They didn't expect that someone would be so strong as to use an iron door as a weapon. Master Tsong had come prepared, so Wang Fangtian was defeated before he could even get close. Chapter 693. With this level of skill, Xiao Chen, you better come out and accept your death. Be quick, and I won't take my anger out on the other innocent members of the Xiao family. Master Tsong said calmly with a hint of arrogance in his tone. In fact, it wasn't that he didn't want to kill the entire Xiao family, but there were many rules in the outer martial arts world. Especially now that the Kuei Mountain faction wanted to make a name for themselves and produce an outer demon faction's leader, it wasn't appropriate to violate the rules. Killing Xiao Chen was a crime committed by the perpetrator, but attacking an innocent commoner was illogical. Look at my dual pistols, Xia Shibin is here again. Xia Shibin's voice came from afar, followed by a series of gunshots. Multiple armor-piercing bullets were shot at Master Tsong, but this time, Master Tsong didn't dodge. With a wave of his hand, the bullets that were shot at him fell to the ground, as if they couldn't cause any damage to him. Ordinary firearms are useless against a level 5 general and above. Don't waste your time. Master Tsong said calmly, who are you? Xia Shibin from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Xia Shibin said, why? Oh, you really are from the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. This has nothing to do with you, so I won't hurt you. You can leave now. Master Tsong waved his hand, and Xia Shibin flew out. He fell to the ground and fainted, but he wasn't injured. Xiao Chen's heart skipped a beat. This Master Tsong was still wary of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Should I reveal my identity? He was hesitant. If he revealed his identity, he might be able to escape. After all, his status was much higher than Xia Shibin's. He was the deputy director of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. However, Xiao Chen didn't want to do so. Firstly, his identity was special, and it wasn't appropriate to reveal it. Once it was revealed, there might be a lot of trouble. Secondly, he and the Kuei Mountain faction were mortal enemies. Revealing his identity might not result in the desired outcome. Therefore, unless it was absolutely necessary, Xiao Chen didn't want to do so. On the other side, the Golden Fur Lion King and Little Yao were locked in battle. The two of them had similar strength. Although there was a small difference in their levels, the Golden Fur Lion King was very domineering and brave. As for Little Yao, he was the type who cherished his life. It was impossible for him to risk his life against the Golden Fur Lion King. You're Xiao Chen, right? Junior Master Tsong pointed at Xiao Chen. Among these people, he was the only one around the same age. That's right, Xiao Chen nodded with a serious look on his face, but his mind was constantly thinking about how to force the enemy to retreat. Xiao Chen no longer thought about killing them. It was somewhat unrealistic. Elder Heaven Ancestor, what should I do now? Xiao Chen asked. What else can we do? The Elder Heaven Ancestor said helplessly. That's the advantage of being a cultivator. If we can't beat them, we can run. You have a flying sword, so what's there to be afraid of? Even if he's a demonic general, he can't fly. What can he do to you if you fly into the sky? Xiao Chen also knew that escaping was the best strategy. However, he could not leave. He believed that once he left, the people from the Kuei Mountain sect would attack the people around him. Besides, even if they could not capture him back, they would not attack the people around him. As for the young mistress, she was being forced into a marriage. It was simply treating the symptoms and not the root cause. Very well, since you admit it, then die. Junior Master Tsong's gaze sharpened as his demonic aura surged. He revealed his full strength as he slowly raised his right hand. He was like a king of the martial arts world, standing at the pinnacle and looking down at Xiao Chen as though he was looking at a dead man. Xiao Chen was on full alert as he used his yuan qi to protect himself. He took out his flying sword and held it in his hand. At the instant martial uncle Tsong made his move, Xiao Chen also moved. He stabbed his sword at martial uncle Tsong's heart. In his opinion, even though he was not Junior Master Tsong's opponent, if Junior Master Tsong wanted to hit him, it was inevitable that he would be stabbed. He would not die if he took a blow, but if the flying sword pierced through his heart, he would definitely die. In fact, this was also Xiao Chen's test to see if Junior Master Tsong would have any scruples. Of course, if it was an ordinary person, Junior Master Tsong would not care at all. After all, his other hand was free. It would not be difficult for him to block the sword. However, Xiao Chen's speed was extremely fast. Almost as soon as Junior Master Tsong made his move, Xiao Chen also made his move. It was too late for him to block. However, what surprised Xiao Chen was that when the sword stabbed out, Junior Master Tsong did not dodge or evade. Instead, he still aimed his palm at Xiao Chen's chest. A majestic pressure hit him in the face. Before Junior Master Tsong's palm reached him, Xiao Chen already felt an overwhelming pressure. Xiao Chen finally understood why Wang Fantian and Xia Shibin were sent flying with just a wave of his hand. To put it bluntly, the strength of these two people was too low. Even if he could withstand it, it would still be a little difficult. Boom! Almost at the same time that the long sword stabbed into Junior Master Tsong's chest, Xiao Chen was also hit by his palm. However, at this moment, Xiao Chen was a little shocked and a little sad. When the long sword stabbed into Junior Master Tsong's body, it was as if it had stabbed into an iron plate. Because of the pressure, the entire body of the sword was bent into an arc. After Xiao Chen was sent flying, the long sword also flew out and then returned to its original shape. This was a refined flying sword. If it was an ordinary sword made by hand, it would have long been bent and broken. The long sword actually could not pierce into Junior Master Tsong's body. It was unknown whether Junior Master Tsong had the devil's qi to protect his body, or his own flying sword was not sharp enough. In short, Xiao Chen was sent flying and was seriously injured. On the other hand, Junior Master Tsong was completely fine. Pa! Xiao Chen felt that he did not fall to the ground, but was caught by someone. After spitting out a few mouthfuls of blood, Xiao Chen finally saw who it was. It was actually Yu Xiaochuan. Brother Xiao, are you okay? Yu Xiaochuan's voice was a little sharp and mournful. I came late? I'm fine. Although Xiao Chen's injury was not light, he would not die. If it was not for Xiao Chen using primordial qi to protect his chest from Junior Master Tsong's attack, he would have been killed at this moment. Fortunately, even if he was injured, the primordial qi in his chest would nourish the injury immediately, so that the injury would heal in an instant. You old bastard, you dare to hurt Brother Xiao, I will scratch you to death. Yu Xiaochuan put Xiao Chen aside. Tang Tang, take care of Brother Xiao. As he spoke, he dashed towards Uncle Master Kong. Who are you? The sudden cold killing intent made Junior Master Tsong's whole body cold. He had not felt this kind of killing intent for many years. Ever since he advanced to the 5th layer of the Devil General, his opponents were like ants in front of him. Although there were still many experts above him, under normal circumstances, it was difficult for those people to go against him. I will scratch you to death. Yu Xiaochuan did not say a word, crossed his hands, and slashed at Junior Master Tsong's body. Junior Master Tsong was caught off guard. Although he dodged in time, the clothes on his chest were inevitably affected, and actually turned into a few strips of cloth, directly falling to the ground. Junior Master Tsong was shocked. How could this person be so fast? He had clearly dodged, but he was still hit. What shocked him the most was that he could not see the strength of this person. He did not seem to have any strength, but he was astonishingly fast. If he had not sensed the danger of this person and quickly dodged, he would have been injured by now, right? Yu Xiaochuan did not say much when his attack did not hit. Before his body landed on the ground, he only saw his body lightly leap in the air, and without any leverage, he continued to attack forward. The fingertips of both hands, like a sharp sword, stabbed towards Junior Master Tsong's throat again. Junior Master Tsong's eyes narrowed. This person was so strange. Looking at his lithe figure, one would have thought that he was a beautiful woman, but his moves were ruthless, and it was shocking. Especially that strange movement technique, it was as if he was using Qigong to the extreme. He took a deep breath, not daring to fight recklessly. Previously, when he fought recklessly with Xiao Chen, he did not think much of Xiao Chen's flying sword. But now, it was different. His instinct told him that if he were to be careless, he would regret it for the rest of his life. Thinking of this, Junior Master Tsong quickly retreated again, but even so, he still felt his face burning. It turned out that the strong wind from Yu Xiaochuan's waving hands had swept him. Junior Master Tsong could not help but feel lucky. Luckily, he did not fight recklessly, or the consequences would be unimaginable. But before he could regain his senses, Yu Xiaochuan's third round of attacks followed. Junior Master Tsong was furious. Why did this person not know to stop? Looking at him, if one attack did not hit, the next attack would come straight at him. Did he not even give me a chance to catch my breath? Who fights like this? If everyone was like you, how could others live? What the hell are you practicing? In a battle between martial arts masters, everyone knew that no matter how strong they were, it was impossible to continuously use moves. There must be a small pause between each move. Damn, there's a cooldown period when playing games. You're not done, are you? This time, Junior Master Tsong's neck was accidentally scratched by Yu Xiaochuan. He could not help but feel a little depressed. Xiao Chen sat cross-legged on the ground to heal. This was also the first time he saw Yu Xiaochuan in action. He was shocked, but Yu Xiaochuan's aura made him feel a sense of familiarity. It was not the aura of a martial arts cultivator, nor was it the aura of a demonic cultivator. If he had to say something, Xiao Chen felt that he was more like a cultivator. Could it be that Yu Xiaochuan's chrysanthemum treasure book was also a cultivation method? Damn, are you done? This was already Yu Xiaochuan's 10th non-stop attack. Are you trying to set up a combo? In shock, Junior Master Tsong could not help but curse. This person was definitely the strongest opponent he had ever met in his life. If he could not dodge in time, he could be hit. Knowing that continuously retreating was not the solution, Junior Master Tsong's eyes flashed with ruthlessness. He decided, even if it meant getting injured, he had to get rid of this person. Otherwise, once his energy was depleted, he would be in danger. Go to hell! Junior Master Tsong shouted. He immediately channeled his energy and struck out with both palms, attacking Yu Xiaochuan's vital points. Chapter 694. But he didn't expect that Yu Xiaochuan actually ignored him and continued to attack him in a frenzy. Boom! Yu Xiaochuan's chest took a direct hit. His face turned pale and a mouthful of fresh blood sprayed onto Master Uncle Tsong's face. The blood was mixed with blood clots and bruises. Looking at his chest caved in, it was obvious that his injury wasn't light. It could even be said that it was extremely serious. Just as so. Master Uncle Tsong sneered. He had used all his strength. Although Yu Xiaochuan's hands had slashed across his neck, because he had reacted in time, the wound on his neck was merely a bloody mark. It wasn't a big deal. But being drenched by Yu Xiaochuan's fresh blood made him feel disgusted and annoyed. Master Uncle, be careful. On the other side, little Yao Zi's peripheral vision was also paying attention to the movements over here. After all, his main goal was to delay and didn't go head-to-head with Golden Fur Lion King. He still had plenty of time. Seeing that Master Uncle Tsong had met with a strong opponent, he naturally paid attention. Seeing Master Uncle Tsong's palm strike Yu Xiaochuan, he was still very happy. But at the next moment, he was a little surprised. He saw that Yu Xiaochuan's body didn't fly out from Master Uncle Tsong's palms. Instead, he drew an unbelievable arc in the air and attacked Master Uncle Tsong once again. Swoosh 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 swoosh. After Master Uncle Tsong heard little Yao Zi's shout, he couldn't help but be stunned. But his eyes were blinded by Yu Xiaochuan's fresh blood, so he couldn't see the situation in front of him clearly. But at the next moment, he couldn't say a word. Yu Xiaochuan's two hands swept back and forth in front of Master Uncle Tsong's body. Up, down, left, right. Under the sunlight, one could even vaguely see that between Yu Xiaochuan's 10 fingers, there seemed to be 5 thin lines connected, and Master Uncle Tsong's body, in the next moment, split into pieces, as if he was cut by these thin lines. Suddenly, it exploded and fell to the ground, turning into square pieces of minced meat. It was like the square pieces of meat that the chef in a restaurant cut before making braised meat. Ugh. While little Yao Zi was shocked, he couldn't help but feel nauseous. He was completely shocked. What kind of people were beside Xiao Chen? Why were they all freaks? While he was distracted, he suffered a blow from the Golden Fur Lion King. However, it was also because of this blow that little Yao borrowed the momentum to fly backwards. After landing on the ground, he broke into a run. His speed was so fast that it was shocking. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared. After Yu Xiaochuan killed Martial Uncle Tsong, he suddenly fell to the ground and started coughing out mouthfuls of blood. At this moment, Xiao Chen's emotions were very complicated and moved. He never thought that Yu Xiaochuan would fight to the death. Even if he had to risk his life, he would kill his opponent. Of course, he was even more shocked. Yu Xiaochuan's martial arts were strange and ruthless, far beyond Xiao Chen's imagination. Yu Xiaochuan, how are you? Xiao Chen's injuries were almost healed. He quickly stood up and ran to Yu Xiaochuan, bending over to support him. Brother Xiao. I'm afraid I can't make it. Yu Xiaochuan was left with his last breath. When he saw Xiao Chen coming over, his face revealed a satisfied smile. Coupled with the blood stains at the corner of his mouth, he looked especially mournful. I'm very happy to be able to do something for you. I'm very envious of Tang Tang. The first part of Yu Xiaochuan's words made Xiao Chen very touched and grateful. However, the second part was somewhat inexplicable. Envious of Tang Tang? Could it be that Yu Xiaochuan's injuries were too serious that he became muddle-headed? However, for Xiao Chen, as long as Yu Xiaochuan was still breathing, there would still be a chance. Xiao Chen couldn't be bothered to say more. He directly grabbed the meridians on Yu Xiaochuan's chest and circulated the mantra. He continuously transferred his yuan qi over. Suddenly, Xiao Chen was shocked. He looked at Yu Xiaochuan with some amazement. In the past, when he healed others, his own yuan qi was passively transferred to repair the meridians, bones, and internal organs of the injured. But this time, although the yuan qi was initially transferred by Xiao Chen, it seemed that Yu Xiaochuan's aura guided Xiao Chen's yuan qi to repair it in his body. This was the first time Xiao Chen encountered this situation, but Xiao Chen saved his energy. He didn't have to bother to sort out Yu Xiaochuan's meridians and bones one by one. These things were completely done by Yu Xiaochuan himself. However, the huge consumption shocked Xiao Chen. The yuan qi in his body that had just been restored was actually sucked dry by Yu Xiaochuan. What was gratifying was that Yu Xiaochuan's pale face gradually became ruddy. After a long while, Yu Xiaochuan coughed violently twice. After coughing out some blood clots, he opened his eyes. Brother Xiao, you saved me? I'm not dead. And, don't talk. Just a little bit more. Xiaochen didn't know what attitude to take toward Yu Xiaochuan. Although Yu Xiaochuan had always claimed that he was his own younger brother, there was not much real contact and communication between Xiao Chen and him. It could be said that there was no heart-to-heart. In Xiao Chen's opinion, this younger brother was completely subdued because of his own strength. Once he had strength that exceeded his own, he would immediately turn against him. But to Xiao Chen's great surprise, Yu Xiaochuan didn't do so. Even though he had strength, he was still loyal to him. This kind of loyalty seemed to have reached an outrageous level. Knowing that he was courting death, he still went to fight recklessly. Yu Xiaochuan didn't know that Xiao Chen could heal his injuries. In his situation at that time, he was undoubtedly going to die. This made Xiao Chen draw countless question marks in his heart. He really didn't understand why he was like this. Brother Xiao, you are so good to me. Yu Xiaochuan smiled happily. Tang Tang watched from the side and couldn't help but frown. She wanted to say something but stopped herself. Yu Xiaochuan's injuries recovered quickly. Although he was a little weak, his life was no longer in danger. With Tang Tang's help, he returned to the villa to rest. After bidding farewell to Xiao Chen, he left. He had overdrawn too much of his physical strength previously. At this moment, he had to go back and cultivate in seclusion. Golden Fur Lion King's qigong was not good. After chasing a street, he still didn't see Little Yao's figure. He could only return resentfully, feeling a little depressed. That kid ran too fast. I couldn't catch up. He must have gone back to inform the others. Forget it. Xiao Chen waved his hand. Little Yao was not the only person in the Kuei Mountain sect. Even if he killed him, the other party would still come for revenge. Even if he didn't inform the others, the Kuei Mountain sect wouldn't know where these people died. Thank you for helping, Grandpa Jean, but, when did you become a general? Xiao Chen felt that this world was a little crazy. Not only was Yu Xiaochuan's strength outstanding, but even Golden Fur Lion King had become a general. I'm just injured, so my strength can't improve. However, I have the foundation. These years of cultivation have long accumulated to the point where it can explode. As long as there's an opportunity, my strength will improve by leaps and bounds. Golden Fur Lion King said, Xiao Chen, since there's nothing else, I'll take Bei Bei back first. Alright, thank you, Grandpa Jean, for your help today. If you need any help in the future, Xiao Chen will not hesitate. Xiao Chen was very grateful to Golden Fur Lion King. Otherwise, even if Yu Xiaochuan helped today, the situation would not be salvageable. Although Little Yao's strength was not high, Xiao Chen and the others could not deal with him. Previously, they killed the two devil generals by pure luck. They didn't expect that Wang Fangtian, a boorish man, would use the big iron door as a weapon. Now, both Little Yao and Master Tsong were prepared. It was impossible for them to use this trick again. Therefore, Xiao Chen really had no choice. Cousin-in-law, Yu Xiaochuan seems to like you. Jean Beibei waved at Xiao Chen and was about to get into the car. Don't talk nonsense. Xiao Chen didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Jean Beibei didn't say much. After getting into the car, she shouted at Xiao Chen, cousin-in-law, Beibei is leaving. You have to miss Beibei. Of course. When will you go back to the villa after the spring festival? Xiao Chen asked. Let's talk about it later. Jean Beibei was a little confused. Golden Fur Lion King started the car, and the two of them drove away. Xia Shibin and Wang Fangtian woke up slowly at this moment. After getting up, they were a little shocked when they saw the minced meat all over the ground. Holy sh*t, boss, are you serious? So cruel? Xia Shibin opened his eyes wide. Did you stuff these two people into a meat grinder? Clean up first. We'll talk about it when we get back. Xiaochen told Xiaofan. Although the Xiao family was located in a remote area and there were not many people around, it was better to clean up such a cruel scene as soon as possible. Yes. Xiaofan answered and went to clean up with Wang Fangtian. When Xiaochen walked into the courtyard of the Xiao family, he saw a back. It was Wang Tietio. Obviously, Wang Tietio was alerted by the fight just now, but he didn't help. Xiaochen didn't think much about it. After all, Wang Tietio was only at the level of a martial master. If he came, he would be killed. Wang Fangtian could help because he was an unusual person. At this moment, Wang Tietio was also a little shocked. It seemed that he had to reevaluate Xiaochen's strength. He didn't expect that Xiaochen had so many masters around him. This time, he had verified the rumors with his own eyes. As expected, Xiaochen could heal the injured quickly. Previously, he heard that he showed this skill at the righteous and demonic Songning Summit. However, it was mostly a rumor. Now that Wang Tietio saw it with his own eyes, he couldn't help but be shocked. Xiao Yuanshan was already somewhat numb. During this period of time, many martial masters and martial generals had died in the Xiao clan. Before this, even a 10th layer great perfection cultivator would be a high and mighty existence to Xiaochen. But now, these experts were like cabbages being cut up, chopped to death with a so-so sound. Xiao Yao was really scared out of his wits today. He ran all the way. In his heart, he felt lucky that he didn't fight with Golden Fur Lion King. If he was injured after the fight, even if he killed Golden Fur Lion King, he wouldn't be able to escape. He would probably be a pile of minced meat by now. This was simply unequal strength. Fortunately, he was quick-witted and ran fast. You're tuning into the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.